And I met a man who told me.
He was in tears. He said, I've never seen such a golf game. It was amazing.
Someone said to the guy that we were playing with, they were like, hey, the starter told me you're a radio man. And he was very unimpressed.
Well, he should be.
He's like, what does that even mean? And then I said, well, no, I'm a podcaster. He's like, Isachi. Because he was like in his 20s.
Yeah, that's all.
He's like, hey, where do I find it?
AM dial.
What is this radio? Well, here's the thing. 1080, the SIG, signal, not cigarette.
It went down.
It went down. It's been down all day.
Yeah, when I tuned in this morning, I guess it was more of this afternoon, all I got was...
Do you tune in on AM in your car?
Well, when I start the car, the first, because I'm a P1, it goes to 1080, and then the second one over, and I don't know why I haven't changed it yet, but the second preset is the 99.5 HD. So when I got in the car, it goes to 1080 the fan, and I got... And I was like, oh, that's weird.
Good programming.
Yeah, and I thought to myself, should I call someone? Then I flipped over, and I was like, no, we're back. I said, that's an AM signal.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Calling someone.
Well, I didn't, though.
As if they didn't know.
Well, I didn't know. But it turns out
Wouldn't that be funny if you're the one that alerted them to it?
Well, what if it had... Yeah, that is...
They're like, what?
I know.
The whole building's like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah. I did that
actually
once.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I was walking in my neighborhood.
An Odyssey station.
It was like 2 years ago. And one of the old people in the neighborhood, the ones with the bars on the window and door, which I find adorable, right?
Well,
I was like...
You can never be too careful.
I think you can. I don't think my neighborhood requires bars. But they've got bars on the windows, the big bars on the door. I was walking the dog, and the house alarm was just blaring, and the door was wide open. And I was like, oh boy. So I was like, that's not good. So I kind of did the, hello? And I didn't want to go in, and so
Why do you do this?
What?
Well, it's just like, just stay away. Just go. No.
There's an elderly couple.
There's nothing going on. Not your business. Move it along.
So I did. I dialed 911, and the lady immediately, I was like, yeah, I'm over here, and I said the street I was on. She goes, yeah, we know. They're aware. They're in the house. I was like, all right. I thought to myself, what if there is an old couple? Like, what if something bad has happened? Like, those people do not leave doors open. They have bars on the door. The door is wide open. The alarm's going off. There's no one else around. Yes, you should probably go stick your head in the house and ask if everything's okay.
You should probably keep walking and think to yourself, everything's probably fine. And if it's not, somebody else will
What if it
handle
was your olds? Wouldn't you want
They're
someone
fine.
to stick their head in?
They're fine.
Yeah, but it was the same thing. The lady's like, we're aware. And I thought to myself, how many people have called? By the tone of her voice, I'm going to say 17. 17 separate calls. She's like, yeah, it's been going on all morning. We're working on it. And I was like, oh, sorry. So I had that moment where I was like, hey, should I call? And I was like, no, they're fine. But I switched over to the HD signal, 99.5 HD2, and it was good. But apparently we're back now.
Yeah, so we're back on AM. That signal is back. I don't really know how many people listen to us on that anymore since we're everywhere else now.
Yeah.
It's where I listen.
It is?
Yeah.
$1 an AM, man.
Yep.
Really?
I do not have the HD2 radio in my
Okay.
car, and so when I'm in my car, it's always on AM 1080.
All right.
The Subaru Outback has not caught up.
You know what I saw the other day, Suk, that you'll get excited about?
What?
The Subaru EV SUV.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you have to go to Home Depot afterwards and get a full hawk? Were you feeling it?
I think that's the path we'll go down.
You wanted to hang out with Schultze after that? You're like, man, I should give Jordan Schultze a call.
Big time.
Yeah.
Do you think you will outlive AM radio?
No, dude. AM radio will be around forever. Yeah, it'd be like VCRs. Yeah.
I don't know about that.
There's still VCRs. There's still VHS tapes.
No, I
I
understand.
kind of feel like we've outlived VCRs. I mean, like no one's using them anymore.
Totally. I mean, they still exist, but the reason I bring that up is there is an article I was reading recently about a battle with the government.
Oh, for it, yeah.
Like some people, including I think some people in the government, want to get rid of AM radio.
Well, a lot of the
radio companies are going, wait, not so fast.
Whoa. Well, I know some newer cars are doing away with it.
Exactly. So that's why I asked. Yeah, I mean, you're what? You're 36 years old?
46.
46?
46. Well, 46. I'm almost 46.
So let's say you got another good 40 years of life.
40 years.
Well, what do you put the number at?
That's adorable.
17, huh?
Dude, there is a lot of hard miles. I ain't making it to 86.
What are you making it to?
I'll take 70. I'll take 70, like 75.
Okay, so what's that?
29 to go.
Yeah.
Something
So
like that.
in 29 years,
29
will
to 30
AM
sleeps.
radio exist?
Yeah, probably not.
I don't think it will.
Yeah. Although, you know what, dude? It's really hard to kill things. Will it be like
Including Sook.
I don't think I'm just like I will be AM radio. I will be old, I will be decrepit, I won't be of any use to anyone, and yet I'll still exist. I'll just be there.
So you can so we're on at 1080 AM. Let's go. We're back.
And,
We're back.
And we're on a 99.5 HD2. We're on
Yeah.
YouTube. We're on Twitch.
Well, wait a minute.
the
Okay,
app.
so let's go through all that because I think some of our listeners don't really know that we're pretty much everywhere now.
Yes.
It used to be you could only catch us on the AM signal, and if that was out, we'd go home. Seriously,
Yeah.
the signal would be tease up one day.
Yeah, it was done.
They'd be like, we'll
Yeah.
see you tomorrow.
I remember that. I remember leaving remotes and being like, oh, just.
But
we're
now,
out.
if the signal goes out, it's like, well, there's plenty of people
Yeah.
on all these other platforms. So you can catch us 99.5 HD2. So what you do is you go to 99.5 on your FM and then go one up to the right there.
It goes to
And that's
11.
us. Because most stations all have like 2, sometimes 3 and 4 HD channels.
I think we have. I think so 99.5 is the wolf. Ow! And then I think there's 3 HD stations, and we're.
What's the third one? What
I
do
think-
they put on
I
that?
think one's like classic country. I think one's more. God. What was I knew this at one point. The other one might be more like progressive, like kind of bluegrass sort of thing, and then there's us.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's 3
See,
HD stations.
I, as a radio man, I actually really like the HD 2 and 3 elements of this because it allows program directors of all various radio stations
Yeah.
to do something kind of funky and different with their HD 2 and 3 signals.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can take some chances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there's actually some pretty good stuff.
Think about it like a golf scramble. You got one dude that's like in the fairway. Hey man, swing from the shoes, see what happens. That one lands out of bounds. No harm, no foul.
But
Let's
we're
go.
on 99.5 HD2. Okay, so then we're on YouTube at youtube.com/@1080am the fan.
I'm monitoring the chat right now.
And a lot of people, now that is a fun one because while relatively new in our universe here, you can go back and watch the show after it's happened or catch up late.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like a podcast in that way. You don't have to be watching it live, even though we do stream it live.
And you can see us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
our
there's
faces
a little
are on it.
and there's a little chat. Well, and it's really our torso. I mean, you can't see like the lower half, but
I'm not wearing pants.
well,
We would never know.
no, we would never know. Yeah. And I really lean in, so you get rot from like mid torso up. I'm more of because I'm a leaner. You get more of me from like
Yeah.
nipples.
I
up.
lean back, you lean forward.
I'm a lean forward kind of guy.
So we're also, okay, so here's the next thing. We are on the Odyssey app, guys.
which is how most of the time I listen.
Yeah, and that's really the easiest thing to do. You just put that on your phone and just search 1080 Fan. We're right on there. You can listen to us live. You can rewind, fast forward, do the whole thing. And then podcasts, if you missed the show or you want to listen to us in the morning, if that's more convenient to you, you're walking the dog, whatever you're doing, anywhere you get your podcasts, we're there, including Spotify.
Yes.
So we're on all that bullsh, too.
Don't forget about Twitch.
I don't know about Twitch.
We're on Twitch.
We're on Twitch too.
Okay, cool. Twitch, get Twitch.
So you
I
can.
don't even know what Twitch is.
Well, it's basically where a lot of hot girls and cat ears get dudes to give them money, and then
Also where
gamers
people, stream video games.
and then people stream video games, and we're on there as well. It's just like the YouTube feed. We're just on Twitch, and I don't monitor that one, but we do monitor the YouTube chat. So
on my feed over here, I get the Twitch comments too, but I don't know how to respond to them.
yeah. So if you want to get a hold of us, the Vancouver 4 text line or the YouTube chat,
Yeah.
Big Eye Duck says, did someone steal my golf balls this morning? And I don't know what that means.
I think he's talking about your golf ball story. The guy that stole
The
your golf
dude
ball.
that kept that twice took your ball and played it as his own
Yeah, but that happened like
a while ago.
a while back.
I don't know.
I did hit golf balls this morning, but at Colwood. But no, as far as I know, no one came and stole golf balls. That would be which is a ballsier move. What the guy did at Fairway Village, actually taking my ball while I'm playing, or coming over to someone at a driving range and just taking a handful of their balls. I actually think that would be more of a bold statement.
So
Both are pretty brash.
So then if you guys have smart speakers,
Yes.
you can say, hey, Alexa or whatever, play 1080 The Fan.
And here we go.
And I taught my parents that, and they're just blown away by that.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my God.
Explaining technology to the olds is a
So
hell of a
easy.
thing.
So there's that. You can play that in your house. And then we're also on TV, guys. We're on Portland CW from 3 to 4.
A lot of ways
Did
to
I
consume
cover
this.
everything?
I think you got everything.
Is that it?
Yeah.
It's
think so.
unbelievable.
Or I suppose you could come here and just like stand outside of the studio and listen to us. I mean, I guess there's that. You can try to do like in person. Because we're on a location next week. We're at 10 Barrel.
That's right.
You could come. What about the live radio
Ooh.
experience?
Yeah, this is a big announcement.
Things
you
are
guys-
happening.
Are you guys ready for this? Next week, we will do a show that is all Club 1080.
Second time ever. It's been authorized.
Yeah, we didn't even ask to do it.
No, it
They
wasn't.
just told us.
Yeah,
we're
it
doing
wasn't. I guess authorized is the wrong word. It was.
Pitched.
It was demanded. We were told.
Yeah, no, I think the client wants it. So the club sold to the pub beer
Yes.
from 10 Barrel.
Yeah.
And so on Wednesday of next week, we're going to be at 10 Barrel, actually Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
But Wednesday's show is the club at the pub.
Yes. We're celebrating pub beer becoming the official beer of the pub,
Yeah.
or the club in the pub.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Yes.
So we're going to do a whole show of Club 1080 on Wednesday.
Do I get to drink pub beer the entire time?
You can.
Do we get a lifetime supply or something?
No.
I wonder how many pub beers it would take before the radio
Maybe.
show went sideways.
For you?
15?
Yeah, it's
I was
a
gonna say
different number.
A dozen, probably.
Yeah, I think.
For me, it's probably pub beers.
Yeah.
Are those pretty light?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good solid dad beer. It's a good garage beer. Big fan.
I'm going to say if I get on my fifth one,
Yeah.
I won't do that many, but
That's probably accurate.
I wonder if I can get that authorized as well. We'll see where this goes. I got 4 hours.
well, they are the new sponsor.
They are the new sponsor. 4 hours, we'll get 20 in. And 4, yeah, let's see if we can run this up the flagpole. Get the dump button ready, and we'll see where we go with this.
Exciting times.
Yeah, let's do it
And then Thursday we'll be out there at 10 Barrel again
for the PIR.
for the race.
Yes.
It's the what is that called?
The Indy races. I forget what the actual. But it's
Should we know that?
Probably.
Well, probably, but it's the Indy race out at PRR. We've done it
Yeah.
for the last handful of years. We're just moving over to 10 Barrel.
And we
this
have
year.
cool race car drivers on our show.
Yes.
Because of it.
Yes.
So last year we had, Grosjean.
Roman Grosjean. Yeah.
It is the Portland Grand Prix.
Yeah, the Portland Grand Prix.
Mm-hmm.
Grosjean was not Sebastian Grosjean, Roman Grosjean last year. He was super cool. And then the year before that, we had the young guy.
Yeah, we did have the
What
young
was his
the
name?
young handsome fella.
He's a hot shot.
Yeah.
Maybe even like an Andretti or something.
Did we have an Andretti? We've had people. We've had
The listeners will know.
Yeah. Well, we've actually had the last couple years. We've actually had like big name racers. The guy that had that horrible crash and the.
That's what I
Yeah.
just said.
I know. I'm saying
Grosjean.
Yeah, Grosjean.
And
We've
then
had-
the year before was the young kid.
and
and
we
then
have
the
an,
year-
we've had an Andretti.
The year before that, I think we've had 3 of them. Anyway, you're going to get cool, hot, awesome race car driver talk
Yes.
Thursday. So big week next week.
Someone asking if we can get him to discount the nachos. I'll work on it, but I can't make any promises.
Why,
Because they do.
why would wait a minute?
They have the best nachos in town.
They do, but why would they discount them?
Because I asked them to.
That's not the point.
to get listeners to come.
The point is to get you to eat them and pay for them, not discount them.
What if we discounted them?
Everybody wants something
But
for
if
nothing.
discount nachos are on the table,
Yeah.
maybe more people show up and spend more money there.
What if we just did one
It's
of those?
possible.
What if we just cheat the other guy and pass the savings on to you? That's the. How about this too? We're gonna discount the nachos by $3, but what you don't know is that before the show, we're gonna raise the price of the nachos $3. Dude, people do that all the time. Where it's like, hey, we're taking $50 off this, and you look at it and you're like, you son of a gun. I'm like, you didn't do anything. You just raised the price so you
Yeah.
could take it down.
Smart.
Yeah. Like, I don't even get excited about a sale until we get to 30%. I don't like it. A lot of times we'll do like it's 10, 15% off. I'm like, no. 25? Get to 30. Now we got my attention. 40%. Now you've got my interest.
Now, how much are the nachos?
Oh, like
I'm looking at their
13, $14 maybe?
What are those called? Steak and gorgonzola nachos.
Steak and gorgonzola.
Okay, they're $15.
And let me tell you, they're worth every damn penny. I stand on my business. That's the best nacho in town. Dynamite.
I think you should throw your credit card down and buy the first 13 plates of nachos.
That seems like a lot of nachos.
It's less than $200. I don't know why you wouldn't do that for your fans.
Have you seen my radio salary?
I have.
Sad.
You're doing great.
It's sad.
I'm telling you guys. Sook's doing great.
Hey, there's only one of us that lives over Vancouver because we can't afford the big Portland nightlife. All right?
Yeah.
Some of us have to move out to the burbs. That's the way we do it. We're not all Buckley. We're not all trust fund babies in there. We don't have sugar mamas. Mrs. Buckley over there.
Love my sugar mama.
You have a sugar mama and a sugar daddy. You got double sugar.
Yeah, look at that.
I got no sugar. I got nothing. It's depressing.
All right.
I gotta find me an old rich broad.
That'll probably get it done right there. Just say that.
What if one of the olds in my neighborhood has a bunch of money? How do I find that out? Because the houses aren't that nice.
Shut up.
I wonder if Richard Simmons' lady, I wonder if she's a widow. I wonder if she's got a bunch of money.
You need to start wallowing in Lake Oswego.
I know.
Just cruise around down there.
I don't think they like my type out there.
Yeah, what are they going to do? Kick you out?
I need to get a whole new wardrobe. Actually, they do. It's that guy that was driving around in that windowless van. They called
that
the cops.
was Wes Lynn.
Wes Lynn. Is there any difference?
I think Lake Oswego's a little snootier.
I need to get with swag and get into his wardrobe. Start wearing sweaters tied around my neck. I got to get some boat shoes.
The second you do that and you tootle around down there for a week,
Yeah.
having cocktails, eating lunch, sitting by the water.
You can find yourself a cougar.
Yeah, they'll come. They'll find you. You'll be fine.
This weekend I'll make my way out there.
Now
and see what's up.
BTJ may not like that.
No, probably not.
But
No,
they're down there.
That's going to be a problem. I might get shanked on that one.
Well, we're back on 1080 AM.
Yes.
You can find us on all those other platforms. Next week's a huge week. Let's go. The things are looking up.
Yeah.
Here at 1080 The Fan.
Yes.
With
Everything's
Isaac
going
and
well.
Sook. And
Yeah,
Danny and Dusty.
And everybody.
And Sprague and Dirt.
It's Dirt and
Although I
Sprague.
did not hear Sprague today. Where's
Sprague's
Sprague?
on vacation.
Where's he camping?
I don't know where.
A place he doesn't want to be.
Really?
Well, I don't know if you know this about one Brandon Sprague. Not much of an outdoorsman, much
No?
like yourself.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. A number of years ago, I remember that he was going camping and he had no gear. And I was like, well, if you would like, I have camping gear. And needless to say, just the idea of him out if we had a competition, like if you did a Bear Grylls sort of 10 to the Fan survival,
Uh-huh.
You and him would be high on the list of first one to die.
We'd be eliminated early.
Yes.
No
It
question.
wouldn't go well. So I'm not sure which one of you would
I didn't know that
flourish
was
least in the woods,
I
but
didn't know that was true of him.
yeah, it's not good. It's not good. I don't know, Buck, are you an outdoorsman?
Not remotely.
No, I was gonna say you're a San Francisco kid.
Yeah. I mean, I like to do stuff outdoors. I snowboarded a lot, but no, I'm not pitching a tent.
Outside's
camping outside.
nice.
I'm not gonna lie.
As long as I have 18 holes.
This state, yeah. If we happen to do the outdoor challenge on a golf course, I don't necessarily think that our station, in general, is how would you? We're not in a nook of the woods.
No.
Yeah, I think it's slim pickings.
Well, I've never really understood the idea of sleeping on the ground. That's dumb.
It's quite fun out in the woods.
Well, that's not what I said. I said sleeping on the ground is dumb.
Well, you don't sleep on the ground.
Well, some people do.
Yeah.
Well, but that's the
And
whole
that's
reason
stupid.
that I'm not into camping is because
right.
yeah, you go out there during the day and then I can go back to my bed at night. Why wouldn't I want to do that?
Well, the reason I bring it up is I saw an ad the other day for these tents they're real just tents, but
Yeah.
they're lifted.
Yeah.
They're off the ground
Yeah.
with a mattress. Now why is this only just now a thing?
Well, I have a cot that I bring if you want to do that. But
No. These are tents that are lifted. So the tent is just a bad, all around bad thing. It's stupid. And you won't catch me dead in one.
Yeah.
Well, maybe dead in one, but
Yeah.
not alive in one.
No.
But when you pitch the tent, it's on the ground. That is the dumbest thing ever, and that's part of why camping is stupid. But now they have them where you pitch the tent and it's off of the ground by a couple of feet, and you just dive in onto a mattress. Now that's what I'm talking about. Where has that been?
I have not.
Why did I not invent this?
I have not seen those. No, you would not like my camping. I do not. I do not fancy camp.
I'm a glamper.
You should come out sometime. It'll be fun.
Why? Why would I do that?
There's no reason you ever would.
Yeah.
But I would like to see it. I think it would be enjoyable.
You wouldn't enjoy me.
Sometimes you sleep in the back of the Bronco.
I get antsy.
You could cuddle up with me. We'll keep each other warm. It'll be
I
great.
pace. What?
I'm just picturing you. I'm picturing you in the outdoors, and it's making me happy. I would like to see you. Can we do a show retreat? Can I lead us on a show retreat? I think it would be amazing.
I'll meet you there. Tell me where it is. I'll meet you. I promise I'll be there.
To see the two of you out in the woods together, to see which one of you hates it more.
Buckley Sprague and I would.
See, I don't hate it out there, but I don't want to do any of it.
He's right. Because you're smart.
Like,
so the three of us would hop in a car.
Yeah.
We would steal a car or maybe a boat, and you would find us at the nearest watering hole.
I understand.
And that's way better than what you're doing.
I'll even drink around the campfire. That's fine.
There you go.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. But let's go to bed in our bed.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
You and me.
So you're not interested in one of the cots. I got an extra.
No. Tent hammock. Someone said,
Yeah.
not sleeping in. I can hang out in it.
Yeah,
but
they
I'm
have,
not
they have
sleeping
the
in it.
hammocks with the coverings on them.
Hey, I'm kicking some serious ass on the poll question today
Love the polls.
because so far I checked the results and they're all near 25%.
Dude,
Freaking amazing.
You are in a groove right now.
I'm hot.
Yeah.
That's next. Pertains to college football on the Fan.
It's the Fan on Demand.
They're kind of fun to play with, aren't they?
Now, fan podcasts are better than ever with whole show podcasts.
I appreciate you because we needed a hamster to pedal this wheel around.
And you can still get newsmaker interviews in any hour from your favorite fan shows.
Yes. All right.
Listen to the Fan on Demand on your phone, smart speaker, or 1080thefan.com.
How long do you leave it up there?
Now, here's a quick look at Portland traffic.
Crash on Marine Drive eastbound just east of I-5 is backing up traffic through that merge with Interstate 5 as well as MLK. North 5 is a slow drive from 84 to the Interstate Bridge. I'm Claire Beverly with traffic.
This traffic report brought to you by
Pelican Brewing Company.
New from Pelican Brewing Company, enjoy summer with the ultimate refresher, Pelican Beach Beer. Independently brewed on the Oregon coast and available now in 16-ounce cans at a store near you. Pelican Beach Beer. Survival
daily poll. We run this on X, formerly Twitter. It's at 1080 The Fans where you can find us. Give us a follow, huh? Give us a follow, huh?
Please.
Social media.
Yeah.
Yesterday, the question was, who is the best quarterback in the Big 12? Who do you think won?
Who won that? Probably either, I'm guessing Shedeur Sanders.
He was dead last.
Really?
Yeah.
Even though some people think he could be the number one quarterback in the draft next year?
Well, our listeners don't think that.
Yeah, not a fan.
Well, or maybe they do,
Yeah.
but they voted him last. Maybe it's just because they just don't like
It's possible.
him.
No one's going to give Colorado any sort of props, but look, say what you will about Colorado, and I'm not a huge fan. Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter are both good players.
Cam Rising, Utah.
Okay.
He won.
Huh. See, and it's funny in that if you asked me the question of who's the most underrated and who's the most overrated, that might be the answer. In that, like, I like Cam Rising, but I think we talk about Cam Rising because he's been around and Utah's been pretty successful.
How many years has that guy played?
I think this is his 7th year because of injuries.
Because
and
he's always
COVID.
hurt.
Yeah, he's hurt. Last year he missed all of it. And like I said, Cam Rising's good. But if you looked up Cam Rising's numbers, which I'm going to do right now, they're not.
I beat you to it. He has only played, oh my God.
What? Are you okay? We just got an oh my God and then like.
I'm having a heart attack.
Go towards the light. Wait, no, don't. The other way. The other way. Go to the darkness.
Am I wrong that he's only been at Utah? He's only been at Utah, right?
I thought he transferred for somewhere else, but I don't know if he played there.
First of all, he didn't play last year.
No, he was hurt.
He only played.
And we kept waiting for him to come back. Remember, that was the whole thing. Is
Utah thought he was ready.
Utah thought he was ready.
He
said he wasn't, and it just kind of went on, and it ended up being a real big problem.
So he played in 2022, and he threw for 3,000 yards.
Yeah, he went to Texas, by the way, for a year.
Redshirted there.
Redshirted there, and then ended up in Utah.
So he threw for 3,000 yards, 26 tutties, 8 picks.
Yeah.
In 2022, the only other season he played was 2021. He's only played 2 seasons.
Yes, so this will be his 7th year, and he will have basically played 3 years of football.
No, 2.
Well, no.
Well,
but
this year,
this coming year.
Yeah.
So yes, and like I said, his numbers are fine, but 60 mid 60s, not even mid. Like averaging out at 64%, and then. What he's averaging 22 to 23 touchdowns and 6 picks a year. Those are good numbers, but they're not,
that
they're not
2021 year is the year that they played Ohio State in that bowl game, that wild game. And didn't he get hurt in that?
He did get hurt.
And the other guy came in and they almost beat him.
And I think he got hurt too. I think they ended up going to another one. So, yeah, and Utah's problem has been
you could say he's overrated.
Oh, that's what I was.
I thought you said he was underrated.
No.
I thought you were saying that he's really good. Watch out for him.
No,
but we haven't seen a lot of him. Okay, so yes, he's.
So I think we look at Shedeur Sanders now, and I think there's an underrated factor there because Colorado's not very good. All of a sudden, there seems to be a tide turning against Colorado. I get why, and so a lot of people are going to crap on Shedeur Sanders. Hence, it's why I said he finished last in that. And that's why I said I think overrated, underrated, it's flipped that. I think Sanders probably at this point is underrated in a really good system. If Shedeur Sanders was playing at Georgia or if he was playing at Oregon, I think there would be a lot of different talk. And Cam Rising, again, I just think he's been around forever. Utah has had success. They've won the Pac-12, and he's kind of an interesting story. So I think we talk about Cam Rising more than we should. And I've said this about Cam Rising from the get-go. It's like, oh, Utah finally found a quarterback. Yeah, because Utah just hasn't had good quarterback play, but it still's never been a great offense under Cam. They just win and give them credit. I mean, they've won the Pac-12 twice. So I'm not trying to dismiss Cam Rising, but he's not one of the great quarterbacks in the country. He's just not.
He's 25 years old.
Yeah.
And he has started 25 games.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
It's kind of a weird, funky thing.
But out west here, I'm guessing because we've seen him and a lot of our listeners have seen him, that's why he won.
Well, if the
39%.
The longer you're around in college football, the longer you're around in anything, we talk about you because it's a name we know. Like if you went through the quarterbacks in this year for the top 25, a lot of them are like, who? huh? Oh yeah, this guy.
Or like Hudson Card.
Yes. You know,
He's
you
like,
just,
wait, he popped up again?
exactly.
Now he's at Purdue or something.
I think a lot of people maybe with Dylan Gabriel are doing that. They're
Yeah.
like, wait, Dylan
Yeah.
Gabriel's at Oregon?
Yeah,
They're like,
that's
yeah.
true.
And you're like, wasn't he at Oklahoma? Yeah, but where? Oh yeah, he was at Central
Wait,
Florida.
Tyler Van Dyke?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, and he's at
He's at Wisconsin.
He's at Wisconsin now and is a starting quarterback. And Cam Ward, I guarantee someone this year when they tune into Miami, because Miami plays Florida early on in either week 0 or week 1, there are going to be a bunch of people who be like, wait, that Cam Ward? He's the quarterback at Miami? And you're like, yeah. And so the really, really good ones, well, they leave. They go on to the NFL. But now with NIL and the transfer portal, you get a lot of guys that stick around for a couple more years and they end up in better situations. Like if Cam Ward had stayed at Washington State, no offense, but no one would know anything about Cam Ward because he'd be tucked up at Washington State. They'd win 5 games and nothing. But he's at Miami now. People think Miami could win the ACC, and all of a sudden Cam Ward could be a national name.
Okay, so the question was, who is the best quarterback in the Big 12? Cam Rising got 39%. Noah Fafita coming in number 2, 32%. Jalen Daniels of Kansas, 15%. Shedeur Sanders, 14%.
See, I would have liked to have seen what happened had Fish stayed at Arizona, or if God, I can't say his name ever. Fafita had gone to Washington and brought T-Mac with him, and because that was the whole deal, is that Fish was just like, I'm just going to bring Arizona and bring it up north, because Arizona was a good team last year and had a lot going for it coming back, and then the team got split, and you know, a bunch of the key guys ended up going up north, but 2 of the really good ones, the quarterback and the best receiver, they stayed at Arizona, but they're in a Big 12, and you know, Arizona might be able to make some noise. A kid can play down there, and they were high school teammates. I mean, that's kind of one of the reasons why they stayed at that, and I think some rich Arizona booster made it his whole mission to tell Fish to F you, and I think he gave those guys a lot of milk.
So the last 2 poll questions have been, who's the best quarterback in the country and who's the best quarterback in the Big 12? I didn't want to ask who's the best quarterback in the Big 10 because that's a little redundant.
Sure.
So I've changed it to this, and this is today's poll question on X at 1080 The Fan. Which of these Big 10 quarterbacks will have the best season? Tyler Van Dyke, Wisconsin. Aiden Childs, Michigan State.
By the way, if you wanted to find like a sleeper, a guy that by the end of the year people are going to be like, I give you Aiden Childs.
Miller Moss, USC, or Will Rogers, Washington.
Interesting.
Vote and vote hard. And right now, I'm telling you.
Well, that's a mother bear right there.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
That's tough.
Because you can make a case for all 4.
Absolutely.
For different reasons.
Yeah. Boy, because I don't know what to make a SC. I want to say Miller Moss. He looked good at the end of the year. I have no faith in Wisconsin's offense, although Will Rogers is, not Wisconsin's offense, sorry. With UW, with coming over, Will Rogers is a very, very accomplished quarterback, and I like Jed Fish. It's just that Washington, it's such an unknown. It's an entirely new squad. So it's hard for me to go with that. I was going to say I don't trust Van Dyke at Wisconsin because I just don't trust Wisconsin's offense. I like Childs to be kind of a breakout guy at Michigan State, but I think I'm going to go with Miller Moss. I think USC might have something for some people. I know their schedule's tough, but Lincoln Riley coaches quarterbacks. Don't outthink the room. Lincoln Riley knows how to play offensive football. I don't know if they stop anyone. You can't convince me that USC is just going to be dreadful on offense. And he showed something at the end of the year, so I'm going to take Miller Moss.
Okay. Right now, I'm looking at the latest. Moss is leading at 30%. Then Childs at 26%.
If UW had a little more, like if I even knew what, I don't even know how many starters UW has coming back, but it's not many. It's
like 2.
It is a completely different team. And so I want to think that they're going to be better. I like Fish, and I think there's some decent talent up there, but that's going to be a weird thing considering they were in the national title game last year, and now I think I've seen everyone picking them to win like 6-7 games.
The number is 2. They have 2 starters.
But Rogers is a very accomplished quarterback down and played in a spread system.
He's legit.
At
you got this.
Mississippi State.
Rogers. Yeah, so let's see, what did I say? Miller Moss, 30%. Aiden Childs, 26%. Tyler Van Dyke, 24%. Will Rogers, 20%. My vote goes with Van Dyke.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. One, he's got a pretty good arm.
Yeah.
And two, Wisconsin is not the same old Wisconsin. Or at least they're trying not to be with what's his nuts as their head coach. I know they were rough in the first year he was there.
They're trying to throw the ball.
They're trying to throw the ball. They're spreading out a little bit more, and I think Van Dyke is a good fit with. I'm trying to think of their coach's name, Luke Fickle.
You are correct.
I think he's a good coach. So watch out for Tyler Van Dyke. But you're right, Miller Moss. Any quarterback with Lincoln Riley should get a lot of votes.
Yeah.
And Rogers and Childs are both interesting, although Childs is 18 years old, dude.
Yeah, he's just a baby.
He is young.
I knew a lot of people down at Oregon State that just said this kid is gonna be really good. And Jonathan Smith's a good coach. I know in the Big Ten they're gonna get lost because it's a meat grinder there, but I think what Jonathan Smith did at Oregon State, again, didn't win anything, but he built them into a solid program, and I think he's going to do it at Michigan State. Don't know if it'll be this year, but Michigan State's going to be better. Like they are going to get a pelt on the wall. I believe in Jonathan Smith, and I think Aiden Childs, from everything I've heard and seen, is that kid could be really, really good. Just don't know if this year might be a bit early.
All right, vote hard. Poll questions on X at 1080 The Fan. Sports Snorts next, including Major League Baseball eyeing a minimum number of innings for starting pitchers. Did you read this?
I did read this.
Yeah, I have thoughts.
I don't like. Well, we'll talk about it.
Here's Buck with Sports Center. Well, now you've got me looking at Corey Feldman YouTube videos.
I can't believe that neither one of you knew what's going on with Corey Feldman.
Why would you think I would know?
Well, because it's kind of everywhere. I see it all the time.
I have not even heard it until that ad.
Dude, it's on my feed like nonstop. So if you don't know, like Corey Feldman, Goonies Corey Feldman. So he's at that
The real Corey Feldman?
The real Corey Feldman. The Goonies and all those 80 movies, The Lost Boys. I mean, literally at one point, the biggest child actor in the world. I mean, the guy was in monster movies. What is that thing? It's called Loserville? Like what, Limp Bizkit?
Yeah, Loserville, this music festival, I guess.
Which is...
Can we talk about that?
I don't... Well,
why are they calling it Loserville?
I don't know.
Are they just being cheeky?
I think so. I think it's like when Domino's was like, "Hey, our pizza sucks, buy it." Like you lean into the...
They're like, we're the has-beens, come check us out.
Yeah. Well, Corey Feldman, bad things happened to Corey when he was young. And he kind of, he went off the rails. And he thinks he's Michael Jackson. Like he dresses up like Michael Jackson and dances like Michael Jackson.
That's a little weird.
But he can't sing. And it's really bad. So now he's moved on to like, he's playing rock and roll. But while he's playing rock and roll and he's got like mirror pants on, he's wearing pants with like mirrors taped to him. And he takes his shirt off, but like he's in really bad shape and he looks sickly. And he dances like Michael Jackson on stage while playing rock music, but he can't sing. And then he plays the guitar, and not like, sometimes when you're not a great guitar player, like country music artists will do this where you just kind of strum along to the beat. He guitar solos, but he can't play the guitar. It's honestly like when you were a little kid and you would pick up an electric guitar and you would just, you would randomly hit the strings. He does that, but in front of like crowds.
Sounds like we got to get tickets to Loserville.
Do me a favor. Just go on YouTube and pull me. There's clips everywhere. They're going around. I at first I thought it was a bit. Like I thought it was like a This Is Spinal Tap sort of thing, but it's not. It's and I honestly I feel bad for him because this is what he's doing now. He's making music, but it's
good on him.
Dude, it's unlike anything. If you sit down and watch a 2-minute clip of him, Buck, see if you can find the one of him guitar soloing.
When you type in Corey F on YouTube, Corey Feldman guitar solo is what populates. So
just and realize that he's doing this.
I'm watching one
in front of a crowd of people, thinking that he is shredding.
This one says Fred Durst makes sure Corey Feldman is really playing the guitar.
Yeah, it's something else, man.
He's got a whole bit, doesn't he?
He was in The Burbs. He was in Stand By Me. At one point, the biggest child actor on the planet, and he's doing this. And like some of the songs he sings, like he has a song called "What Up With Youth." It's just.
Do you think Corey Haim would be proud?
Well, he's dead.
Well, so I said would be proud.
I
probably
don't know.
not.
I don't probably
not.
Like,
or would he be on drugs like in the front row?
Probably,
or on the side
probably
stage.
the latter. And that's the thing is like I don't want to make fun of Corey Feldman, and I'm not trying to make fun of him because
you kind of are though.
I'm not. I feel Corey Feldman is like the guy at the UPS store. I'm not mad at him. I'm not making fun of him. I feel bad for him.
You just took a dump all over his hot new concert tour.
It's empathy. It's not. I'm not taking a dump on. I feel bad for him. Like if you saw someone up doing something in front of a large group of people that clearly could not do it, but thought they could do it and were trying to, wouldn't you like you don't boo, you're like, oh my God, like you feel terrible.
Well, I'm intrigued by Loserville now.
Well,
might go.
Well, I mean, Limp Bizkit, man.
I am a loser.
Fred Durst.
Baby.
Well, he's one of many people at Loserville. I'm just saying. Honestly,
right.
I might show up to watch Corey Feldman. Once you watch one of those clips, there's part of you that's like, I kind of want to see this in person.
Now, when's Loserville again?
Don't know.
We can plug it. I mean, they did buy our station, so we should probably.
Yeah. Just, I didn't listen to the ad. Other than that was the first time, I've heard that ad a bunch. That was the first time that I realized that Corey Feldman was on there.
Yeah, I'm watching him. He certainly looks...
Coming to Ridgefield August 21st.
Aug 21.
Right around the corner.
That's next week, bro.
Is he wearing his mirror pants and that?
Actually, that's the night of the club at the pub.
Oh. Well,
start at 10 Barrel,
start at
hop
10.
on over to Loserville.
Oh my God,
going.
what a night we've created for people.
That is a hell of a night. That really is.
Come see us. We're going to do a Club 1080 show, 3 to 7 at 10 Barrel. and then go up to see Corey Feldman at Ridgefield.
Yeah. I kind of want to see Corey Feldman. I think I've talked myself into going to see Corey Feldman.
Do you think he does autographs and meets his fans?
I don't know. I met Sean Astin once at the Goonies Fest at the Coast.
Well, he came in studio.
Yeah.
He's a good dude.
He's always seemed like a nice guy.
Yeah, he's really nice.
He was there.
Very down to earth.
They did a whole thing down in a story about the whatever it was, whatever anniversary of the Goonies, and Chunk was there, who's now not fat. He's a skinny lawyer, which is weird. Sean Astin was there, and then the director, and I think one of the gals was there. But they were all very nice and pleasant. They did a whole big Goonies weekend. And then the people that owned the Goonies house were real bitches about the whole thing. And we're all complaining because they didn't want people taking a photo of their house.
All right, we've got a little bit of MLB news that came out today, and we'll get to that next on The Fan.
Yeah.
You got roped in, didn't you?
Well, I was watching,
Yeah, you can't look away.
I was watching one of the, it's Comeback King is the song?
Sure.
Are you a Feldmaniac now?
I am a Feldmaniac.
I'm telling you, once you start watching,
But he's not playing guitar on this.
Yeah, sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't.
He's just singing and dancing like Michael Jackson.
Well, he's a jack of all trades.
I'm warning anyone out there that goes down a YouTube rabbit hole of Corey Feldman. You're going to be there for a bit because you won't look away.
I will say he is not really singing. He's sort of talk singing.
Yeah, that's about right.
And the top comment on this says that Corey sounds much better in person. So I'm going to go ahead and take that. And look, dude, there's like maybe 20 people there.
Yeah, well, again,
and 3 bros in Cardinals hats.
This
is in St. Louis.
I'm not here to poo on anyone's dreams. Just wait. I'm still waiting for Buck to pull me out a Corey Feldman shredding guitar solo.
Oh, see, I pulled it and listened to it. I don't think. I mean, I could play it. It would just kind of sound like amplified garbage. I think what really does it is seeing him in the mirrored pantsuit thing. That you got to look for it yourself. I think.
Let me ask a question. Not to get totally derailed
but
here.
we already are.
There's a woman backup vocalist.
Yeah.
There's a drummer and there's a guitar player.
Yeah, and a real guitar player that tries to mask what Corey Feldman's doing.
Are they embarrassed?
Yes. Yeah. But they're getting paid, and so...
So that's what it is? Oh, there's a bassist, too. I didn't see him
He's
over
got a full band up there.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that hurts, but it's a gig. So, things we do for money, man. A wiser man than me once said that 90% of all evils in this world are done to pay the rent. So maybe the world would be,
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it'd be, actually the quote is 90% of all bad things in the world are done to pay a mortgage. So maybe the world would be a better place if we all rented.
Limp Bizkit, though, I hear, is really good live.
Fred Durst.
Yeah.
You got a little Fred Durst going on.
Couple people on the Vancouver Ford text line are saying it. Rop looks a little Fred Dursty.
Yeah, you got a little Fred Durst.
I've gotten that before.
Yeah.
They're apparently
just one of those days.
Apparently, they're pretty good. They get wild.
I saw Limp Bizkit in Utah 20 plus years ago, and I was never a Limp Bizkit dude, but I'll tell you what, the crowd was
it's
the crowd
wild.
was going.
They got a whole vibe going.
Yeah, dude, that back in the day, I don't know if they still do, but back in the day, they could whip a crowd into a frenzy.
Major League Baseball now wants to explore the idea of a 6-inning minimum.
Yes.
For starting pitchers.
Yeah. That's
they are saying
interesting.
Yeah, this kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't know they were toying with this. But they are saying there are 3 exceptions. So the pitcher has to go 6 innings unless he gets hurt. Mm-hmm. But this is a weird one because if he gets hurt, it says that they have to go on the IL.
Yes.
So teams can't manipulate that.
Yeah.
That's pretty. I don't know how you would enforce that one. That's a weird one.
Well, I mean, you'd enforce it by saying if you leave the game early because
you have
of injury,
to go on
you
the
have
IL.
to go on the IL.
But not all guys. I mean, that's kind of.
By the way,
not all guys that leave the game have to go on the IL.
Exactly. If I just have a forearm strain and I'm like, hey, I feel a little something, they come back and they're like, no, he's fine. He'd get rest, and make his next start.
But what if it's a good pitcher and he's feeling a little something? Maybe he's got a blister or something. He's not. He probably isn't going to have to go on the IL.
It's terrible.
But you can't take him out of the game because now he's got to go 6 innings.
It's so stupid.
Well, and the first time a guy gets forced to stay in a game, then he gets hurt, he's going to sue the bejesus out of
That's
the
what
team
I'm
in the
saying.
league.
This is just. I'm just saying everything about this, and I mean everything, is so effing stupid. I can't believe it. The
other two. So if you get hurt. You have to go on the IL.
Yeah.
You can come out before the end of 6 innings. If you get to 100 pitches, you can be pulled.
Yeah.
Or if you give up 4 or more earned runs.
If you're getting shelled. So, that's the idea. I guess some of those protections in there are you're trying to prevent this from just being an absolute joke. It's still stupid. The idea, I'm just trying to think of any sport where the idea is that you have to stay out there. It's absolutely silly.
I guess maybe I'm in the minority here. I don't know. You guys tell me, but I don't really see a problem with openers and the way pitching is going.
No, why
would
you?
I don't. Well, a lot of people do have a problem with that.
Why?
Well, I don't know. The same reason they're looking at this rule. It's not something that crosses my mind at all when I watch baseball. I think the pitch clock thing changed everything for me. Mm-hmm. It's really easy to watch baseball now, way easier than it used to be.
Shaved almost, 25 minutes off of games?
But for some reason, they are saying that it's a big problem that we have openers and we have all these pitching changes, even though there's a minimum batter requirement now. and guys are just getting in there for an inning and throwing. I don't know. To me, it's just the evolution of the game.
Yeah.
Can anybody explain to me why it's so bad that starting pitchers aren't going that deep into games?
I think people just want offense. I think that's what this boils down to, and we know that the more you see a pitcher, the better it is. You can't tell me that this is about pace of play. Pace of play is really good. The times are down. This to me is just merely about trying to manufacture more. More runs, more offense.
And that's the trendy thing right now. Everyone talks about the third time through the lineup.
Yep.
So if you force the pitcher to stay through the third time in the lineup, you should be, to Sook's point, generating more offense in the game.
That's what this is. And I don't know. I find the whole thing to be really problematic because now, again, you're manipulating how someone wants to run their team. And I like the whole point of baseball, especially when you don't have a salary cap on there, is no two baseball teams are built alike. The Yankees have to build their team differently than how the Twins built it. So if you build a team around a strong bullpen and depth and being able to throw a lot of arms at you, now you're basically saying that we're not going to allow you to do that. We don't like the way that you're manipulating the system. This is like where I hated the tush push, the idea of the Eagles, right? The Eagles and Patriots are getting ready to kick off right now. That's what made me think of it. But yeah, we got Thursday night preseason football.
All right,
That's the excitement.
Patriots.
Drake May, get excited.
I think they said that they're.
Oh, is he going to play?
Yeah, Drake May is going to play, and I think the Eagles and like the Chiefs, some of these teams are going to play for an entire half. So this will be
real football.
Yeah, this will be at least a half. We would think of real football. But anywho, it was the idea of like the Eagles would do the tush push, and it couldn't be stopped. It was a first down, and so there were people in the NFL that were like, "Well, you can't do that." Why? Because the Eagles are good at it. They have a quarterback and they have a center that does this really well. So now you're basically saying that because one team does something and they do it well, that we're going to outlaw it. I hate legislating creativity or schemes out of a game. I'm not a fan of it at all.
Well, I don't know that this is going to fly. They're saying this has got a long way to go before it gets even remotely close. It's just an idea. They may try it in the minors, but I don't see this. I don't see it happening.
I certainly hope not, because I mean, it's just a bridge too far. Again, I understand, things, zone defenses for a while, you can't do that, or the two-line pass in hockey, and the New Jersey Devils ran a neutral zone trap for years in the NHL, which was just the most boring thing in the world to watch, but it was really effective. And so I get, we change rules in sports sometimes to improve the pace of play or again pitch clock, and we try to move things along, but I mean, I don't know. I just think this right here gets at the fundamental strategy of baseball. And if a team wants to build and get creative and play kind of analytics baseball and work a lot of bullpen, I just taking that away seems downright un-American. I mean, and I know it wasn't this, but the Royals won a World Series, went to 2 based on a strong bullpen and getting to a certain point and then relying on their bullpen. But if we did that at the beginning of the game, now that's no good. So after the 6th inning, go to as many bullpen guys as you want. But why is it but if we do that for the first 3 innings, now we're talking about the worst thing that ever happened? It seems arbitrary and
America, yeah!
All right, more snorts coming up next, including some changes at ESPN. Hawk Tua Girl pops up again.
Oh, yeah.
And Raygun says, "Leave me alone." It is 4:02 on the Fan. We regret to inform you that we have to play Corey Feldman's guitar solo.
I tried to warn you.
We found it.
You go down this rabbit hole.
Well, I want to hear it.
Well,
you spent 5 minutes talking about it. We have to play it.
You want to hear it.
I warned you.
I will play it.
This is a payoff.
It's
This is him on stage.
Okay. Is that an animal?
Still got about 20 seconds left of this. Rock on, bros.
All right.
I honestly, I feel bad.
There
for
you
him.
have it.
I feel bad.
There you have it.
He is the headliner of his band, and he solos. And by the way, there's a real guitar player on stage standing behind him, and you can see him in the background like, oh my God.
Well,
I mean, that's like I play a really, really bad guitar. That would be like if you said, Sug, play me a shred solo. I think that's probably what I'd give you. Because you don't really do anything, you just kind of slap the strings. So
yeah, pretty rough.
Yeah. Corey Feldman.
All right. We're sports snorting here.
Mm-hmm.
Various items have come up.
I'm watching this hot Eagles-Patriots game.
Including Hawk Tua girl. She's back.
Yeah, she is back.
Spit on that thing.
She threw out the first pitch of the Mets game.
Mm-hmm.
Looked good doing it.
She's cute.
Is her form okay?
She throws like a girl.
Better than 50 Cent?
I've never seen 50 Cent throw.
Oh, his first pitch is legendarily awful.
Yeah. It's one of the worst.
You've probably seen it and not realized
You've
it was
seen
50
it.
Cent.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's
Is it
rough.
better or worse than Corey Feldman's guitar solo?
Oh, that's a good
Boy,
question.
tough choice.
50 Cent, a lefty. That's good. Also at the Mets game.
That's what made me ask.
Yeah, it's and by the way, the Hawk Tua girl, like her pitch is 1,000 times better.
Okay.
The Hawk Tua girl was fine.
Do it, Haley.
Like she got it there. She threw to another hot too. I don't know who she was throwing to.
Probably her little buddy.
But it wasn't. Yeah, she didn't throw it to like a Met. She threw it to like another. She threw it to another gal, and it's fine. It's
So
actually,
Fiddy's went directly left towards the on deck circle.
yeah, like he
to the
was
first
Bull Durham.
baseline.
He was trying to hit the bowl.
Yeah.
The Hawk Tua girl went kind of from the mound. And now, granted, it didn't quite get all the way there because the gal was standing on the grass. But I'm telling you, if I were to tell you that the Hawk Tua girl was going to throw out the first pitch, you would never have guessed that it was going to go this well. She was fine. There is zero shame. In fact, I'll venture to say that there is at least 15 male celebrities that would kill to have that first pitch, including 50 Cent.
Now, how many people in the stands in New York had no idea who that was?
I think at this point, most people know who Hawk Tua is. And I'm guessing they announced her as Haley
well,
Welch
sure.
Hawk Tua, right? I mean,
Yeah, but I think there's a lot of old baseball people that have
I wonder,
no
is
clue.
that how she gets introduced to places as Hawk Tua girl?
Well, I think
or
they-
like, how does that?
I think they introduced her as probably internet star.
Internet sensation.
Internet sensation.
Viral
Haley
internet
Welch.
sensation.
Haley Welch.
Spit on that thing.
By the way, she could have pitched for the Mets today. They lost to the freaking A's 6-7.
Deal asking a very good question.
Ask away.
Was it a spitball?
If she had any sort of sense,
She would have
should
spit on her
spit
hand.
On the hand.
And then
Yes.
rubbed up the ball.
and then
You got to
thrown
lean
it.
into the bit.
I do have another piece of audio that includes her that Danny and Dusty played earlier this week, in which she did not know the lyrics or misunderstood the lyrics of the Jay-Z "Welcome to New York" song.
Yeah, this is on the. She was on Bill Maher's show, the podcast, the Club Random or whatever, which again was the Corey Feldman of interviews. It was the worst interview I've ever heard. Bill Maher was just trying to sleep with her the entire time and kept being condescending and lecturing her. And she is as dumb as you think she is. But I felt bad for her. It's
Well, let's hear
it's
it.
rough.
Here's another payoff, kids.
I like old rap though. I don't listen to much new rap.
What's old to you, old rap? To me, it's
Let's
like
see.
Jay-Z and Tupac. No? You've heard of Jay-Z.
Yeah, and Tupac. I've heard of both of them. I just
Oh.
don't listen to them like that.
Yeah.
Besides that one song Jay-Z's in. It's like, concrete jungle, wet dream tomato. You know, about New York.
What dreams are made of, not wet dream tomato,
That
Haley.
is fantastic.
Yeah.
And it makes me like her more.
Yeah.
Wet dream tomato.
Wet dream tomato. She was being
Concrete jungle, wet dream tomato.
Hey, she had the harmony down. Wet dream tomato.
And that was Bill Maher? That didn't sound like
That
Bill
was
Maher.
Bill Maher. Yeah. It's rough.
Uh,
And by the way, can I just say for the
You
record,
can.
New York Mets,
On the record.
I understand that it's the Mets, and we don't ask for much. It's a rough franchise at times, but really, Hawk Tua girl, that's where we're going.
Well, that's what I thought. I was like, wow, she's in first pitch. She is of first pitch status
That's what we're doing now.
at a
we-
major league game, maybe like a minor league game.
Sure, I could see her at a Pickles game. You know,
Yeah,
by
you
the
can do
way,
a
Pickles-
bobblehead for her at a minor league game.
Yeah, the Pickles, by the way, playing for the championship. We got a one-game winner-take-all against the Apple Sox. Go Pickles!
Didn't know we had Apple Sox.
I didn't know either. They're from they're from somewhere.
Wenatchee.
Yeah, they're from Wenatchee. I don't know if it's Wenatchee.
Wenatchee?
Wenatchee.
Wenatchee?
Yeah. Yeah, we got the Apple Sox. It's a one-game winner-take-all. Go Pickles! Like if you had Hawk Tua girl at that, they had stripper night at the Pickles. Like that makes sense. You got Hawk Tua girl night, but it's the freaking Mets. We're in a playoff run, and we got the Hawk Tua girl out there. And by the way, throwing out a pretty good first pitch, but still, like I think we can do better.
I
than
can't
that.
get over wet dream tomato.
You got to sing it though.
Concrete jungle, wet dream tomato.
Well, I mean, I wrapped up like a douche, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I thought.
Yeah, but wet
I know.
dream tomato.
I mean, like she doesn't bother to look that up ever, like thinking that that's what it is. you
I
know?
just can't believe that's. I mean, you went through that. You went through that song's been out forever.
And I think we all had lyrics like that, but not
Yeah.
ones that made so little sense.
Right.
Well, I mean, if you listen to like a pro,
Where's our head of the pillow, Mary, he's hot.
but BTJ knows the lyrics to no songs. It's brutal. She just likes tunes. And so when you have to explain lyrics to her, it's like you're blowing her mind for the first time ever. We went to the Pearl Jam concert, right?
She doesn't listen to lyrics?
No.
Like she doesn't try to hear what
No,
they're
none. Believe me, it was one of the
God.
most fascinating things ever. And so when she finds out that songs have meanings, she's like, what? She's
like, wow.
I'm like, yeah, they write songs about things. Like that song, the Pearl Jam song, Even Flow, is about a homeless guy. And when you're like, yeah, like freezing, rest your head on a pillow made of concrete. It's a homeless guy sleeping outside in the cold. She's like, what?
Wow.
What? Yeah, she knows lyrics to no song. It's fascinating. You might be able to tell BTJ that it's Concrete Jungle, Wet Dream Tomato.
Concrete jungle, wet dream tomato.
Boy, she right now is famous and making lots of money.
Okay. One of the sports story, and then we're gonna big Blazer schedule breakdown from Big Souk.
Their big national
Well,
games.
my.
All two of them.
Robert Griffin and Sam Ponder got let go by ESPN.
Yeah.
I wanted to report that to you because I love Sam Ponder, and I actually really liked Robert Griffin. Well, really liked. I didn't think he was bad.
Well, and they're paying him to not work. He got 2 years left on his deal.
Yeah, I just didn't think he was that bad, and he was kind of fun.
Yeah.
You know?
He liked him.
Yeah,
some
he's
Robert
definitely
Griffin.
full of himself.
And so you wonder if behind the scenes, if maybe he just was a lot.
Yeah. All right.
Remember he jumped in the pool in his suit and
I do remember that.
he like wanted to race him.
Got to do bits.
Remember he interviewed the kid from Tennessee with the problematic last name just to ask him what it was like?
Yeah. RG3, the problem is he's the guy that still believes that he's better than like half the quarterbacks in the NFL. And it could be rough.
I don't think he thinks that.
I think he thinks that.
Why do you think he thinks that?
Because he likes him some RG3. And still would to this day, when there would be like a quarterback need, he'd be like, I'm ready. He does the Colin Kaepernick thing. Like, no one's coming for you, man. Let it go.
That seems baseless. But
no, it is not baseless.
He is out.
Yeah.
So maybe the fan will hire him.
He'll land on his feet somewhere.
Maybe he can do. He can join Dirt and Sprague on the morning show.
I don't know if he's willing to do that.
Dirt Sprague and RG3.
Might be the other way around.
All right. Good times. Blazers schedule breakdown in 3, 2, 1.
Concrete jungle, wet dream tomato.
A home for the Beavs and Cougs.
I'm just scrolling through someone posted a Twitter thread of just celebrity first pitches, and they're just fantastic.
Yeah, they're pretty fun to watch.
They're pretty good.
Because it's just really unpredictable, isn't it? It's like wildly unpredictable what someone is going to do.
Conor
with the first
McGregor
pitch.
threw one like into the 9th round.
Yeah.
My
Like, how-
favorite ones are the athlete ones because you expect them as trained professional athletes to like kind of have it dialed in, and when they don't at all, it's really funny.
Yeah.
What is your favorite first pitch of all time?
There's only one.
George Bush.
Yeah. I don't care what you thought of his politics.
That was a strike right down the middle.
In that moment after 9/11,
yeah.
dude,
He hopped out there.
in
It was
the
Yankee
World-
Stadium.
Yankee Stadium World effing Series, and you step up there, big balls, Iron McGinty, and he was wearing either I think it was the NYPD jacket, or it might have been the fire department. I forget which one. But you're out there representing that city, that state, that country, and you go up there and you just calmly stroll up and you throw that. I'm sorry, I would have slept with George Bush at that moment. I would have power bottomed the hell out of him. That is the best first pitch of all time. End of story. There'll never be a better one. Period.
It was a good one.
Yes.
And it's better because he freaking hummed it in there.
Yes.
Like, it was good.
Yes. It's just there's nothing better.
Isn't it weird?
Now watch me crush this draft. Right, I did that on the golf course too.
Isn't it weird to think that was the Yankees?
Now watch this drive.
That World Series was the Yankees and Diamondbacks.
Yeah. Very strange.
Like, that doesn't seem like that was the 2001 World Series.
No.
But it was.
It was. I'm watching it right now. Yeah, it's
And that's the one where Luis Gonzalez got the walk-off hit, right?
off of Mo Rivera, right? Yeah, I believe you.
Craig Counsell scores the winning run, I think.
Dude, I'm watching this. I'm getting goosebumps right now. Bush is giving everyone the Bill Clinton thumb. He's giving everyone the thumbs up.
Okay, but let's be real. Favorite bad first pitch?
Oh. Interesting.
Was it the DC mayor? Was that the guy that was that one really bad? I can't even think of. I mean, I know I've seen bad ones, but
the John Wall one is way up there.
John Wall's bad. The 50 Cent one's as bad as it is. As bad as it
Mariah
gets.
Carey and Heels, who can
Mariah Carey
just
and
spikes it in
Heels,
front of her. That's a good one.
Baba Booey, Gary from the Howard Stern show. That one was pretty bad. I mean, there's some amazing one. AJ McCord of The Fan had a great one. She had like a cartwheel and threw one. Simone Biles had a front flip and did one. I mean, and like I said, the Hawk Tour girl, she's pretty good. Jordan threw one into the stands, back in the day for the Cubs. Snoop Dogg has a horrible one. He throws like a 8-year-old girl.
Cincinnati mayor.
Cincinnati.
Did you see that one?
Yeah.
It looked like
that's the one that goes right into the ground, right?
Well, he throws it over by where 50 Cent threw it,
yeah.
But he's a righty, and 50 Cent was a lefty. Yeah. Well, anyway, what was I gonna? Oh, hey, the Blazers' schedule is out.
Yes.
Are you guys fired up?
Wonderful. Just marvelous.
Do you want to go through it game by game?
Win.
All 82. Let's do it.
Loss.
Okay,
win.
we'll start with the opener against the Warriors.
Loss.
I
can see them winning this game. I can see them losing this game.
Loss. Win.
Then they have the Pelicans at home.
Loss.
I'm serious. We're going through every one of these.
No, we're not.
Yeah, you're right. So the only notable notation of note is they get one national TV game.
I thought
one.
they had 2.
I only saw one.
They have one on TNT, and then they have 3 on NBA TV, but those can be subject to blackout.
Yeah, so they only have one. And it's Damian Lillard coming back to town with his Milwaukee Bucks.
So the Utah Jazz is on NBA TV.
Correct.
And then the Milwaukee one, mark your calendars, January 28th, Tuesday. That's the TNT game with him in town. For whatever reason, the Cleveland game is on NBA TV. That one's going to get moved. And then the Knicks. So, yeah, you have potentially 4 big national games, but you know that there's no chance that the Jazz or the Cavs is going to be the national game. Your only hope is that that Knicks game at the end of the year means something.
You have one national game. And
I don't like
that one.
I don't like your tone.
Will probably be moved.
I think who else? The Pistons had one game. And I think there were 2 other teams that also had the Pistons, the Raptors, and there might have been one more.
So all teams with the same win total over under as the Blazers?
Yeah, pretty much. You're right now viewed by the NBA TV folks as one of the 4 worst teams in the league.
I read where Sean Highkin said 27 of the first 29 are against the West.
Oh, does it really matter?
I mean, I don't ever go through these schedules. I just let other people put out fun facts about them.
Yes.
And that's the only one I saw that was remotely interesting.
Yeah. I saw when the Blazers released theirs, they said cooking up something special.
Are they? Capture the flag, right?
I would hope so.
This season is Operation Capture the Flag.
There's really no other reason.
And what that means
flags!
Is, what's the guy's name?
Cooper Flag.
Cooper Flag is the number 1 pick in the draft this year.
Yeah.
You want him.
Yes.
He's awesome.
Yes.
Capture the flag.
Capture the
Sucks so bad. You get the number 1 pick, and you get Cooper Flag.
And remember, it's all a lottery system. So whether you end up as the worst team or like the second or third worst team, the odds are pretty much the same. So just be bad. And some other teams are going to be bad too. Doesn't matter.
Now, could it be, how many years do we think LeBron has left?
2, maybe?
2?
2.
Were this his last season, the final game of his career would be in Portland.
Hey, that's kind of cool.
April 13th, last game, they host the Lakers.
Yeah, that won't
He'll
be,
probably
but
sit out, but
I would think so. I mean, if
it's a great opportunity for him to play with Bronny because it's the end of the season. The game might not matter.
watch Bronny torch the Blazers.
Look, that's actually a good point that I hadn't thought of. That is a chance at the end of the year if LA's out of it or, whatever.
Or their seat is locked in.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see Bronny getting some run with LeBron at that point, although the odds of that happening versus LeBron not making the trip, I think you take the odds of LeBron not making the trip or sitting down. He ain't coming here.
So they don't play on Christmas. They'll play the day after, hosting Utah. The season opens October 23rd. That's a Wednesday night against Steph Curry and Bucks Golden State Warriors.
Yeah. So
night, bitches.
Talking a lot of S, are you?
Is Golden State going to make the playoffs?
Oh, probably not.
Yeah. It's a weird. I
mean, maybe.
It's a weird transition time in the NBA.
Is it? What do you mean?
Well, I mean, the Lakers are irrelevant. The Golden State Warriors are irrelevant. The Knicks all of a sudden are good.
Well, these stars that we just talked about kind of anchoring the Team USA in the gold medal, they're on teams that aren't really competitors. Durant, LeBron, Curry. It's a kind of a passing of the torch time a little bit with some younger and European influence taking over.
The Nuggets are good, small market.
Mm-hmm.
The Thunder, good, small market. Minnesota, good, small market.
Yep.
So all we're going to hear about on ESPN and all the stupid shows are Lakers talk, Knicks talk.
We'll get some Celtics talk.
Celtics talk.
There'll be a lot of how do those teams that are irrelevant, how do they get the best players from the small market teams to go there without giving up anything of value?
I mean, seriously, you said the Lakers are irrelevant. They are not, dude. They are going to be talked about ad nauseum,
and yet
because of LeBron and AD.
They're not good. That's the other fascinating part is they had two guys on the Olympic team, including the best player, the MVP, and yet, dude, they're a play-in team. I mean,
they were what?
They're not good.
47 and 35 last year.
Yep.
But all the good teams are small market. I mean, it's weird, except for Boston.
Well, Boston and New York.
In New York. But
and even Philly
I'm
should
talking
be good
about
too.
the West.
Yeah, the West is not. That's why I said it's a kind of a weird time because Oklahoma City, Denver, and Minnesota are your top three teams in the West. That's strange.
Well, you know what the NBA needs? They need the Blazers.
Well,
that's what they need.
That might be a bit. That could be a while.
I'm gonna go to that lake
before we get there. Watch San Antonio suck again in the Cooper flag. Mark my words,
dude.
Flag and Wemby.
Flag and Wemby.
What?
Yeah. Dude, Wemby.
Are they really going to suck that bad?
I don't know if they're going to suck that.
No,
bad,
I don't think they'll
watch
be able
San
to.
Antonio. Watch San Antonio pull it off.
They did with Robinson. They did with
flags!
Duncan.
And now Wemby. I'm telling you, Wemby will get because they were terrible last year. I mean, dreadful. Watch Wemby like midway through the season. Wemby has some sort of weird lower back thing. They win like 19 games. They have like the fourth best odds, and they draw the number one ball, and it ends up being Cooper Flag and Wemby in San Antonio. There you go.
Fold the Blazers. If they don't get Cooper Flag, fold them.
Supposedly there's a couple other guys in this draft that are good too, but
nah, fold them.
Why do they need to fold them? They got Scoot and Donovan Clingan. The morning guys were already projecting that Clingan and Scoot will both be on the Olympic team in 4 years.
What?
And Shaden maybe? Oh, is he Canadian?
Is Shaden Sharp Canadian?
I don't know.
Are you kidding me?
What?
Those guys are going to be on the Olympic team?
Yes. Do
you
know
watch? We're going to go to that lake.
Oh my God.
Yeah. They're going to be on that team, man. Who else? I mean,
They're not going to be on the team.
What are you talking
They're
about?
not even going to. I mean,
Klingon's already like the third best center in the league. What are you talking about? Did you not see him at Summer League?
Kling Kong.
Surely they were joking.
The Black Lobster.
Yeah, the Black Lobster, dude. He's fine. Yeah, Sharp's from Canada.
Is he? Okay, I thought so. I don't know why that popped up in my head.
London, Ontario.
Yeah, screw that guy. He'll go play with Wiggins. Or not Wiggins.
Shea Gilds.
Shea.
Yeah. Get out of here.
They ain't winning anything.
Great White North.
I don't even think
So he
Klingon
can't-
and Scoot can make the Canadian team.
They don't need to make the Canadian team. They're going to make the American team.
Could they make the Iranian team?
Does Iran?
Yes.
Does Iran?
Could they make South Sudan?
I don't know about that.
I don't know. They looked awful good.
They're upstart over there. But you could probably make the Iran team, I would think. I don't think the Iranians are
Man,
good at basketball.
you gotta love Blazer Fever.
Hell yeah, baby. What are you talking about?
Damn it!
Rookie of the year, man. Scoot's a generational talent. And the Black Lobster. You kidding me? You need to get excited. You need to get your season tickets, man.
Well, they're probably cheap right now.
Are they? I don't know.
Well, they better be.
I don't know. Hey, the crowds were the crowds actually were halfway
Franchises
decent
never
this year.
reduce prices when the team is bad. That doesn't happen.
What do I gotta pay? I want a seat. Give
Probably
me a
at least
seat.
the same as last year.
Well, tell me, how much is it?
I don't know. I don't work there.
Look it up, bitch.
All right, fine.
Kick
will.
the ball, you little bitch.
I want to know. I might buy a season ticket. I mean, I
One.
love him, but what a
I
bitch.
don't think you can buy one season
You
ticket.
can't? Why not?
I don't.
Oh, I'm sure you can.
Can you? I thought you had to buy in pairs. I can buy ones.
If you wanted to commit to going to all 41 home games, they would let you do that.
I have never once heard of anyone that bought one season.
I don't know who would, but I can't imagine they'd say no, sir. You can't.
Yeah, I've
do
never
that.
really heard of that. You're right. Maybe it's not a thing.
I don't know. Can I buy one season ticket? I mean, in theory, it makes
Why
sense.
wouldn't you be able to? I mean, they get their money either way, don't they?
Yeah, right. I mean,
You don't have to go. You just pay for it.
I just love the idea of buying one. Do you have season tickets? No. I have season ticket. Can I go to the game? No, I only got one. What do you mean you have one? I have season ticket. I don't know. I can't. I like that.
Let's look it up. We'll get on that. In the news is coming up next. Boy, I got something that's got my blood boiling over here, JC Babes.
I might have a figure for you. It says that while they don't announce season ticket prices publicly, it's estimated they start around $30 per game, which would be $1,200 for the 41 home games.
That's it?
That's if it's about $30 a game.
That's way less than I thought.
Dude, that's got to be a piece of crap.
There's
seat.
no way.
Oh, I'm sure the seat isn't good, but that's what it would cost
I bet
you to get
it's
all the
close. Season ticket holders, will you text us? Stay anonymous, whatever.
Yeah.
How much are?
What did your seats
How
cost?
much are season tickets? Decent seats,
Lower
or
bowl?
good seat. Yeah, lower bowl. I don't know.
100 or 200 level.
Yeah. Come on, text in.
And I don't even think you can buy season tickets in the 300 level, can you?
Again, I bet if someone wanted to, they could. I don't think a lot of people are.
Yeah.
And I want to know if I can buy season ticket. Can I call the Blazers and be like, yeah, I'm interested in season ticket? And see? No, you heard me right. Just single seat.
I've got Dane Cook news.
Really? The Dane Cook news you didn't know you needed.
Also Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll get to all that next on In the News. Here's Buck. Okay, the reports are coming in of season ticket prices. We're looking at, well, I'll just read a couple. One guy said 8 years ago, and we're talking about Blazers here.
Yeah.
8 years ago, it was $36,000 for 4 seats in section 112.
Another guy said 25, section 101, so around the same spot, 25 G's for 2.
Okay.
Someone said that, yes, indeed, they said my white privilege is showing. You can buy season tickets in the 300 level. I honestly didn't know that. I thought they reserved those for just, regular paying fans.
Perhaps you should work on your white privilege, sir.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't go to a lot of Blazer games. And he said it was about $55 a seat per game.
Season ticket holder for 10 plus years. They said it's about $12,000 for club level. That's 2 seats, so that's $6K a seat.
Okay.
So we're looking so far, at least from our little study here, between $6,000 and $12,000 per seat.
Yeah. Which, I don't
And those are all good seats.
Yeah, those aren't bad seats.
So yeah, for club level, that's $146 a game per ticket.
Okay.
So I mean, I don't know. I'm on the. I don't know what the face value of that is, but that doesn't seem ridiculous.
146 a ticket.
Yeah,
but it also doesn't seem like you're getting a huge break either.
No, you're not.
Well, there is somebody who says they are the worst when it comes to taking care of season ticket holders. It has gradually become worse and worse each year when it comes to accommodations. Prices never drop; they actually go up, and we get worse perks.
Yeah,
wonderful, just marvelous.
So 2,500 in the 300 level. So, I mean, that's what you're looking at for a pair of, $2,500. I guess that'd be $5,000 for a pair, right? In the 300 level. I don't know.
All right, there you go.
I mean, I appreciate season ticket guy. I don't know. I would have a hard time seeing myself as a full-on season ticket guy. I mean, that's a lot of games to go to. The NFL or like soccer makes sense. There are not as many. I mean, but I guess if you're a Blazer fan, do you just give those away a lot? I know a lot of businesses did that because that is a lot of games to go to. Major League Baseball, I mean, my God, think about that.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Baseball.
Yeah.
All right, it is August 15, 2024. It's time for the news. I'm your Notre News man. Hello, thank you, ladies. I appreciate you all. Today is National Hazy IPA Day.
Yeah, that's right. I got no time.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I don't like IPAs. Get them out. Don't know why they're popular. Makes no sense. You drink one and you're just like all bloated. I don't.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
It is also National Relaxation Day.
There you go.
There you go.
Who doesn't like relaxing? I'm surprised at
I
how
don't know.
many people can't relax.
There are a lot of people that can't relax.
That are just...
They're wound tighter than a fiddle.
Exactly. The cob is so far up there. It's
Way all up
just
up in their ass.
Take a breath, people.
Yeah. That's all you gotta do. Take a breath.
Yeah.
What's the matter with you people?
Roll one up, man.
Calm
Just,
down.
yeah, deep breath.
Calm down!
We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Yeah, the big Dane Cook news is that...
I didn't know we had big Dane Cook news. You just said Dane Cook news. I didn't know it was big.
He is coming back to Portland.
Hey! Is it like Dane Cook from 20 years ago or this Dane Cook? Bleh.
He will be at the Schnitz on Friday, September 6th. His tour is called Fresh New Flavor.
Now, to be fair, I have not heard anything that Dane Cook has done in years, but I stand by the statement that Dane Cook's early stuff, like Vicious Circle, is phenomenal stand-up.
He will punch every bee in the face.
Yes. Dude, some of that early Dane Cook stuff is freaking awesome.
That was one of those comedy bits that kind of transcended other comedians. Like that, he became, and those stand-up specials became very mainstream.
Yes. And that was kind of the weird thing. And I know there's some other things with him where people, for whatever reason started hating him and there was some talks of stealing jokes or whatever. But it's weird that sometimes in stand-up comedy, it's like punk rock. Once you become so famous, people hate you.
Definitely.
It's like what? You
sell out.
Sell out. That's the whole bit in Step Brothers. Dane Cook, pay-per-view, 20 minutes. It's like you become this symbol of like douchey bro behavior. And then people hate you because you're successful.
When you're one of the few people that ever made money doing comedy.
Yeah. I was never a huge fan of Dane Cook, but I gotta back the people who get accused of stealing jokes. Like, I feel like, obviously that's a no-no.
Yeah.
But Amy Schumer got that too.
Yeah.
And
She got a lot of hate towards,
I just don't think that you can be a successful stand-up comic for as long as those people have and steal every joke.
I also don't think every joke is original either.
Right.
Like
It's like
humor, things are funny around the world, around the country, and multiple people can have the same thought about something that's funny without stealing it from each other.
Things are going to get stolen. That you should not do. Like if Dane Cook or Amy Schumer or whomever stole joke, like literally just did a joke that some other comedian did, dude, you can't do that. And everybody knows that. At the same time, let's not act like every single one of their jokes is stolen. They're doing material every year for many, many years. There's no way it's all stolen. In other words, some credit, okay? Yeah. You know what I'm saying, JC Babes?
Yes.
You hear me over here?
And that's kind of it was kind of my point a little bit, in that you can hate Dane Cook or Amy Schumer, but you don't become the biggest comedian on the planet and not be funny. Like, you can become old or stale or, again, have the accusations thrown your way or whatever. But again, at one point, I challenge anyone, go back and listen to Harmful If Swallowed, and Vicious Circle, and tell me that those aren't phenomenal stand-up specials.
I think there's a difference between not being funny. Like, you're right. It's like you're a really high-paid comic.
Yeah.
But funny's kind of subjective.
It's subjective.
So it's like some people may not think that person is funny, but that doesn't. It's like bands, right? Like, I don't like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I would never say that they're not a good band.
Yes.
I just don't. I don't dig their sound.
Yes.
They drive me crazy.
Yes.
But I'm not saying they're a bad. Like, I hate it when people say, "Oh, they suck." No, they don't suck. You just aren't a fan of them, or you don't like them. Same with comics.
I have that same statement all the time. I cannot understand Jeff Dunham. Or who's the other?
Is he the ventriloquist one?
He's the ventriloquist
I can't do that one. And for me, I know a lot of people think he's really funny. I don't really do Cat Williams very well.
See, I love Cat Williams.
A lot of people dig it.
I don't. There's just some comedians, the same thing. I don't understand. But again, if you're packing, Joe Coy to me has 3 jokes, and I think they're all terrible. But Joe Coy packs a 10,000 seat theater. He's doing something right. You don't have to like it for it to be good. The Red Hot Chili Peppers thing is a great analogy. Oh, nice.
Thank you. Rain is coming.
Oh, turn off the sprinklers?
Turn off your sprinklers. They're saying Saturday we could get some heavy downpours.
Sons of bees.
But then it's going to be drying out by Sunday.
Oh, that's fine. Not ready for the rain yet. Although when you're in the midst of like summer, you get like one rainy day. You're kind of like,
I love it.
Yeah, all right, I can deal with that.
Saves on the water bill.
Put on a sweatshirt or something. You're like, ooh, it's chilly. It's 62.
Hey, something's really pissing me off today, guys.
Oh boy. Is it Dane Cook? Is it Corey Feldman?
It's neither of those guys. It's some Justin Bieber-looking donkey who beats his dog.
Oh, I don't
and
like
there's
that.
video of it,
and
we're looking for him, and I'm pissed off about it.
I don't like that. I don't like it.
It's next, 4:50 on The Fan.
This is The Fan's Window into Sports, a view into today's top stories, brought to you by Window Nation, online at windownation.com.
Javi drills it, deep left field, Arozarena at the
couple more stories. Yeah, man, this guy, this is in the news for August 15th. This is just, this POS, man, this stuff makes my blood boil.
Where do I see this at?
Well, it's on the local news sites. I don't think you really want to watch it.
I need to know what this guy looks like in case I see him.
Well, there's a still of his face. Like they'll show you that, but I suggest not clicking on the video. But he's got a little dog with him. It's a black dog, maybe 30-pound dog. And this ass,
he's like whipping it.
He's got it in an elevator, and there's a camera in the elevator, and he's whipping it with a belt. And then somebody gets on the elevator, and he picks up the dog and pretends like he's, like holding the dog, bouncing the dog like a baby. And then I guess they said that on the video, again, I don't watch the video. I can't watch that kind of stuff, but
the dog's just laying there too.
He puts it on a he hangs the dog from a fire extinguisher and starts kicking it.
Yeah, it's
so they're looking for this dude, and damn it,
easy to find.
You guys go look at this guy's face and let's find this ass, because this dude needs to go to jail, or at least I don't care what happens to the stupid idiot. Get the dog out of there.
Yeah, it's that's a rough go. Yeah, I don't like that at all. Yeah, I don't know what we on the site here. They need to show the close up of the.
He looks like Justin Bieber.
Oh gosh.
And the video is from an apartment building that's on Northeast Holiday Street and Grand Avenue.
He's literally winding up the leash to beat it.
Yep. And then the guy walks on and then somebody else walks on the elevator, and he's like, oh.
Yeah, right.
He was just beating that dog.
And the poor dog just lays there and just is scared essless. Wow, that's a tough watch.
He's a white male, 6 feet, weighs 175 pounds. He is known to congregate at businesses near Northeast Grand and Holiday.
Yeah, he looks like a real,
So if you're over there,
I don't know if he's homeless, but he clearly is.
Yeah, I don't think he's homeless.
He just is
but
he congregates around businesses.
He just looks like one of those methy
drifter
douchers. I hope they find that dude. But I wanted to call attention to it because I want people to find him.
Someone knows who he is, and we should call him out because, like you said, the dog. Whatever happens, get the dog away from him.
By the way, did you see that dog that the family turned back in? This wasn't here. It was not a local story. But the family turned it back in because it wasn't enthusiastic enough. No. Did you read that?
No.
It's like this older, this is more of a heartwarming story. It's like this older black lab looking dog.
Yeah.
And they thought the dog was boring. And so they brought it back to the shelter.
So they just were like, here, take it?
Well, yeah, you can take your dog back. I mean, you know, if you rescue a dog, you can take it back.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, this dog's boring. He just sleeps.
No. Well, hopefully someone immediately went back.
Oh my God, they had like 500 requests to take the dog after that. I mean, it's not a sad story.
No.
He shouldn't be with that family anyway.
Well, we need someone to come take this little black dog, and we also need someone to
beat the crap out of that dude with a belt.
I would love.
And kick him while hanging him from a fire extinguisher.
Can I volunteer my services?
I tell you what, dude, if I saw that happening to that dude, I would not call the cops. I would turn and walk away. So seriously, you deserve it, homie. I'm gonna kick your ass, you little. I mean, I'm not gonna administer the beating, but I didn't see a thing. If I saw you doing that to him, I'd be like, dude.
Can I? Because I would like to volunteer my services. That would
have at it.
Yeah, I would enjoy that.
Go find him. Freaking punch it, bitch!
Absolute, and he just looks like an absolute piece of crap. Ugh.
That's all we have time for, guys.
Yeah, go find this douche.
That is in the news for August 15th, 2024.
Halfway through August.
Can you believe that?
God, it's going fast.
Yeah, next weekend is college football.
Not like good college football, but it's college football.
Maybe, we don't know.
Yeah, you don't
Might
know.
be good.
That's true.
It might go to 7 overtimes.
It seems like a lot of overtime.
In Dublin.
Here's the situation.
It's over. We think.
It's over! We think!
The Hot 5 at 5 is coming up next. Major League Baseball toying with another pretty radical rule change. We've got a new U.S. men's soccer coach. The Blazers' schedule is out. And Big Ten news. This is The Fan.
Ready to take your business to the next level?
nice little Thursday. It's your Sports Bros, Rop and Sook. I'm Rops. Big Sook's right over there.
Knee deep in this big Eagles-Patriots game.
Yeah, we've got 3-3.
3-3, baby.
That was predictable. Nearing halftime. How's Drake May doing?
5 of 7.
Kicker!
47 yards. Big screen pass.
We are having quite a show here today, as far as you know.
Yeah.
Coming up, who is the best college football player in the country?
Ooh, that's a good little question because that's different than who's the best pro prospect.
And this Notre Dame swim team story.
That's phenomenal.
Wow.
Yeah. When's the last time an entire team, like, if you didn't know, Notre Dame canceled for the year swimming.
Suspended. Yeah, I mean,
there's no swimming.
Same thing.
It's gone. You know, I mean, the Duke thing happened, but that turned out to be a whole other thing. No, this is
they had a whole internal operation going on. Yeah.
Anyway,
I kind of enjoyed it, to be honest with you.
I like the ingenuity.
You enjoyed what?
What do you mean? Like,
you enjoyed what?
I thought what they did was fantastic.
Oh, you enjoyed what they did?
Creating a little market for themselves,
That was
a little
great.
friendly competition.
Yeah, it
with some
wasn't
dollars
against
behind
anyone
it.
else. They were just gambling with each other. There was
Personal
no
bests and
there was
meet
no
times.
difference between this and gambling with your buddies when you play golf against each other.
Yeah, fantasy football. My team's better than yours. All right, prove it. Let's see. $20.
Yeah.
All right, we also have the final installment of our Thursday Fartabouts.
No, it is not better than this.
That will include ray gun news and Hideki Matsuyama.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to corkscrew some golf in here. Coming up tonight in the club, we have Matthew Perry news. And what if your pilot is not certified to land the plane?
Like that Matthew Perry? Like the dead Matthew Perry?
That's the one. I saw this too.
Yeah. Have you seen the Matthew Perry news?
No.
Of the day?
Is he undead?
No, but
He's
they're
alive.
starting to blame some people.
Oh, we got to blame someone. Wait, didn't he die of an OD? Oh, okay.
We're blaming some people.
All
He's alive.
all right, I see where we're going with this.
And we also have to talk about who will play John Madden in the new biopic.
Ah.
Did you see that?
There's a Madden biopic.
Yep.
Interesting.
Give you 20 guesses who's playing him, and you won't get it.
You haven't seen it?
John Goodman.
Nope.
That would be the best idea.
That's your first guess. Out.
John Goodman
Wrong.
would be amazing.
He'd be a perfect John
He even
Madden.
kind of looks like him.
Yes.
Wrong.
And he's lost a bunch of weight.
Any other guesses?
Well, I guess it's got to be someone that can play young John Madden too, right?
I guess. I don't know.
You
I don't know what goes into
Madden
casting.
needs no offense to John Madden, but why do we need a pick on John Madden?
Because Madden was greatness.
Yeah, he was great. Interesting character.
Sure, why not?
Rode the bus.
You have any other guesses?
I'm just trying to think. It's got to be a big guy.
Frank Caliendo? No.
I'm just trying to think of
Dane Cook.
Of big hefty actors because he was an imposing figure, and I'm a man. The Rock. I got it. The Rock.
Yes.
Wrong.
Let's go. That guy
Wrong.
from This Is Us. He's a big old white dude. Oh, he's playing Matt. Well, I guess we'll find out later.
Yeah, you're going to find out later.
Okay.
I'm going to hold that over you till the club.
All right.
Right now, the Hot 5 at 5.
Hot topics, hot opinions,
Oh, Charlie, I'm hot today.
and hot air. It's time for the Hot 5 at 5.
That's hot.
The Hot 5 at 5 on Primetime with Isaac and Sue.
No, I mean it. That's very hot.
The Hot 5 at 5 with Isaac and Sue. Brought to you on The Fan by Victor Rico's Mexican Food, the most popular burrito spot in Oregon. Online at victorricos.com. Number 5.
Where to go? You can't make up your mind, can you?
Yeah, I can. Blazers, their schedule has been released for the upcoming season. Operation Capture the Flag begins Wednesday, October 23rd at home against Steph Curry and the Warriors.
Against those cheating-ass Golden State Warriors. I don't know why they cheat, but
I bet they do, though.
They do, yeah.
Well, you had the whole tore it all Gary Payton II thing.
Exactly. Pathetic.
Just one national TV game. That'll be January 28th when Damian Lillard and the Bucks visit. 27 of the Blazers' first 29 games are against the West.
But potentially 3 more on NBA TV, although those are subject to move.
But those are blackout, though. Like, I don't think you get those. So they're, I mean,
but the rest of the country could too.
If the Blazers are on NBA TV, they're not on here, right?
So if you live in California and you're a Blazers fan, get excited.
Yeah.
Number 4.
We have a new coach for U.S. men's soccer. They are calling him the most accomplished ever.
Yes.
His name is Mauricio Pochettino.
Even though he didn't really win anything, he's helmed other big programs.
Yeah. He was most recently with Chelsea. My Chelsea.
The Chelsea Daggers.
Blues.
River Rats.
They're the Blues.
Yeah. I was there.
I prefer the Whites.
I was drinking at a bar across from their stadium when they had a game, and it was really fun.
So they're your team now?
Yeah, that's right. He also coached Tottenham.
They're the Spurs. I know that.
We have the FedEx St. Jude Classic. It's the first of the final 3 tournaments on the PGA Tour this year, a.k.a. the FedEx Cup. First prize wins a cool $25 million. That's U.S. dollars.
Can I say that's tasty?
It's a lot of money. Chris Kirk leading the way after round 1 of the first tournament. He is 6 under. And nobody great up there except for Hideki Matsuyama, who is 5 under.
Kirk did.
And Matsuyama doesn't have his agent or his caddy there because they all got robbed.
Yeah.
And they took the other 2 guys' passports. So neither one of them could get in.
And they took Decky's wallet.
Yeah. Doesn't seem a little weird, though, that, like, you get your passport stolen. Our entire world exists on our phone. But if your little slippery piece of paper gets stolen, you can't leave or enter a country?
Why haven't they made passport for phone yet?
It makes no sense.
Have they made that and we're just missing it?
No, you have to have your physical passport.
That needs to be on.
We have biometrics now. Like,
how soon until we're all barcoded and microchipped?
It
Next
seems
week?
like in a modern world, the passport is the most outdated thing that we still use.
You still have to carry it around. Like, what is this? What do you want from me?
It's so
I have
dumb.
to carry this?
I have no idea.
Like my phone. What else do we have for you? Ohio State opens its season August 31st against Akron. As expected, their QB1 will be Kansas State transfer Will Howard. It was announced today. 6'4", 235.
It is another thing that's dumb and antiquated is that, like, Oregon and Ohio State and these teams open against the likes of Akron and Idaho.
Yeah, it's not that exciting, is it? Devin Brown will be QB2. Major League Baseball toying with another pretty radical rules change. They're discussing the possibility of making starting pitchers go at least 6 innings. There would be 3 exceptions where a guy could be pulled if he got to 100 pitches, if he gave up 4 or more earned runs, or he was hurt. Now, if he's hurt, he would have to go on the IL.
I don't even... This whole thing just seems ludicrous. Like, you're just like you're punishing teams for being creative, and like the Tampa Rays, the ones that kind of started this whole thing. It's just
it's pretty stupid.
I hate this.
It's pretty stupid.
And by the way, like you said, it's just an idea, but hopefully it's an idea that doesn't get off the ground. And it's just a desperate attempt to try to manufacture more runs.
And we have a heavy blow to the Bills defense today. Linebacker Matt Milano suffered a torn bicep. He is out indefinitely.
Yeah, depending on, if it was what part of the bicep was torn, there is a chance that he could be back in time for like December for the playoff push, and there could be a thing where he's out for the year, so you just kind of have to wait and see.
He didn't play much last year. He was hurt last year.
Yep. So he unfortunately is a guy that when healthy was really one of the better linebackers in football, but I got to see how old he is, but this may be one of those. He's 30 years old. You're 30 years old and you start having injuries like that. It's tough.
And the Mariners managed just 1 hit. One effing hit. And they fall to the Tigers today 2-1. That is a sweep at the hands of Detroit. The M's are suddenly 3 back of the idle Astros in the AL West. Houston gets the crappy-ass White Sox at home beginning tomorrow. Seattle, meanwhile, will head to Pittsburgh.
And by the way, we got Skeens versus Gilbert on
That's
Friday.
right. That's tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah. This is a big series, though, because you would assume that the Astros are going to sweep, and you're 3 back. You just can't afford to drop further back than this.
One team the Mariners would be battling in the wild card would be the Red Sox. Bottom of the 6th, they are in Baltimore, and the O's are up 4-1.
Someone pointed out today, they're like, well, firing the hitting coach didn't work. Going out and getting 2 bats didn't work. Activating Julio off the DL didn't work. Is it possible that this is just who the Mariners are? They just can't hit because it's
well, I mean, I think that's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious they can't hit.
There's a lot of like, what do we do? There may not be anything
Well,
to do.
they tried to make some trades.
They tried.
I mean, it's not. They just can't. They suck.
No,
they suck.
But that
Javi Baez, dude, come on.
That may be the most painful loss of the year. You're now 3 back. You got swept by the Tigers. You gave up 1 hit. You wasted an absolute gem of your starting pitcher, and the guy that gave up the home run hadn't given up a hit since July 4th. A hit. He hadn't given up a home run in God knows how long. He's the best closer in baseball, and you give that up, and you can't fault him. The guy's been phenomenal, but that is, if you're a Mariner fan, that is just soul-crushing right there. And this coming from a Mets fan who lost today to the damn A's and the Hawk Tua girl throughout our
He's
first
such an
pitch.
effing loser.
Yeah, A's beat the Mets 7-6. Brewers over the Dodgers 6-4, and the Giants shut out the Braves behind Logan Webb 6-0. Pretty light schedule tonight. All right, that's your Hot 5. It's brought to you by Victor Rico's Mexican Food, the most popular burrito spot in Oregon. Order now at victorricos.com. Who is the best player in college football? Next on The Fan.
It's the Vancouver Ford Tech.
mouth. I was like,
well, my mama told me.
Yeah, it's gonna come back to bite you.
Come back to bite you. I would have power bottomed the hell out of him.
But in such a glorious way.
Right in the butt. Has anyone ever said that about a former president?
God.
I would have slept with George Bush at that moment.
Ooh, that's a good question. Which former president would you most want to sleep with?
I think I just told you.
Well,
the
not
answer.
want to.
Well,
but
Kennedy was a handsome devil.
have to. Yeah, there you go.
You know, I mean, let's be honest.
I mean, if you're forced to.
Yeah. China. I mean, look, he had Marilyn Monroe, right? He was doing something, right? He's a handsome man. The better question would be, like, for the club, would be worst. Because there's not, like, there's only a handful of good choices. There's a lot of bad choices.
Well,
although, you know,
I can't really.
Lincoln might have been interesting. He
say.
tall drink of water.
He came to mind for me. You know, I'd dance with Lincoln.
And I think he danced with you, to be honest with you. A lot of.
Well, who wouldn't?
Well, I'm just saying,
You know.
there's, you know.
Rocking you on a Friday. Why did I say that?
Well, there's a lot of the presidents that I can't picture, like their bodies, you know, their hot bodies. But I got to tell you,
Taft.
there is one that comes to mind that's like, and he's recent.
Obama, huh? Disgusting.
He's a handsome fella.
He is a handsome fella.
All right, so I got a list here. You know I love my lists.
You do love your lists.
Actually, I find lists really stupid. But this time of year, all these sports people have to put them out. It's just, I don't know, it's just content, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, this list is particularly dumb to me because it's ranking the top 100 players in college football.
Okay.
And the reason I think that's dumb is because I think that's impossible. I think it's a little easier in the NFL where there's fewer teams.
Well, in college, too, there's a lot of, it's a lot of, you're projecting out.
Well, it's varying competition.
Yes.
You know, like if you got a really good player who plays at, I don't know, like Boise State or something, is he really that good compared to the best players in college football, or is he just good compared to his competition?
Yeah.
So it's really hard to do this. And I'm looking through this list. This was done by ESPN. Looking through it, it's a lot of skill guys.
Yeah.
Like how many Duck players do you think are in the top 100? It's 100 best college football players.
100 best college players. Well, I mean, so there's not many guys in the defense that'll be on there. Like you said, it'll be mostly offensive guys, but Tez Johnson will be on there. Dylan Gabriel will be on there. They'll have at least one of the tackles will be on there. I don't know if Ferguson will be on there.
How many do you think?
I'm going to say there's 5 on the offensive side and maybe 1 or 2 of the new defensive additions.
7?
I'll go 7.
There are only 3 Oregon Ducks in the top 100.
I was going to say Gabriel,
yes,
Tez,
yes,
and Evan Stewart.
Wrong.
Oh, okay.
Wrong.
So no Stewart.
No Stewart. Gabriel is 17th.
Mm-hmm.
Tez is 18th.
Okay.
Which I thought was
a lot of love for
a lot
really
of hype for him
high
this year.
Yeah.
And then number 70 is Jabbar Muhammad.
Oh, okay.
There you
The
go.
corner.
The corner. I was going to say, they got a bunch of new defensive guys in there.
But again, I mean, that's so...
And Muhammad was great at UW last year.
And
Yes,
you're
he
telling
was.
me, and really, honestly, you're telling me that Oregon only has 3 of the top 100 players in the
Yeah,
country.
they're the number 3 team in the country.
They
so
have more than that.
you
It's
would
just, it's hard to rank them. I mean,
Sure.
they have Kobe Bryant, by the way, who's a stud corner at Kansas. He is awesome. They have him 77th.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Well, and again, there's going to be some people that are going to go, again, is it based on what you are going to do at the next level, what you did last year? Like,
They're just saying it's based, their methodology is just college.
okay.
They're not talking about pro potential, but you know, it is the one reason I bring this up is because it's kind of interesting to see, because in college it's not like the NFL where we know all of the players. Like
Yes.
if I don't watch a lot of, I don't know, Tennessee football, I wouldn't know that the best player in college football,
Might
according
be-
to this list,
might be their,
is James Pierce Jr., their defensive end.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's their edge rusher, and a lot of people do think that he is the best. Well, most of the lists that I've seen have him as the best player in the SEC, and if you're the best player in the in the SEC, you know, you're probably one of the, if not the best player. And you know what's funny is the 2 best. I haven't seen this list, so who'd you say put this together?
ESPN.
ESPN. So Pierce will be 1.
He is 1.
Let me take a guess. Is Mason Graham number 2? He's the defensive tackle out of Michigan.
Bloop, 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 bloop. Yes.
Okay, so
Those are your top 2 players in the league,
So
or
this-
in college football.
So again, not having seen this list, isn't it funny that the two players that are listed 1 and 2, unless you are a bit of a college football nerd, I think there's probably 70% of our fan base right now that just went who?
Exactly.
And yet those are the two best players. And are there who are their top 2 receivers? Because I'm willing to guess that the 2 best receivers on this list again are going to be people that a lot of people are going to be like. One, it'll be the kid out of Missouri, the Luther Burden.
He is 5th.
He's 5th. Or the other one will be T-Mac out of Arizona.
T-Mac?
Yeah. Whose first name is confuses me, so we just go by T-Mac. McMillan. Yeah.
There he is. He's 13th.
13th. Okay, so was there another receiver, or were those the top 2 receivers?
You're forgetting. Number 3 is Travis Hunter.
Oh, okay.
From Colorado.
Well, and he's more of a,
Boy, I have never realized McMillan's first name. That is a doozy.
Yeah,
what is it?
It's
Tetairoa?
Yeah, it's weird. I've heard it pronounced a bunch of times, and then I butcher it, and so everyone on the broadcast he's just T-Mac. So I'm going with T-Mac, but that's kind of my whole point, is that there a lot of these really top players, they're positions that you don't really hear a lot about, or that you don't think much about, or there are 2 receivers, one's from Missouri and one's from Arizona.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to bring this up, is that it is actually interesting to look at the top of a list like this and just see players that I'm not even that familiar with, but they're some of the best in college football. So James Pierce, keep an eye on him, defensive end for Tennessee.
Very, very good.
We know Mason Graham because of, Michigan won the title, so you guys probably saw him.
He's the big kind of more bowling ball looking guy, I think 55, wears the big eye black and is unblockable. Washington fans have nightmares about him because he just blows up double teams. And Michigan has a really good corner. Michigan lost a lot, but they got Graham, and then their corner, Johnson. Again, is it bad that I always go by last names? Like the
what's his nuts?
Well, I just so many times when you're watching, you just I go by the number and I go by the last name.
It's right there.
The nameplate. It's his last name's Johnson. They have a really good corner that a lot of the NFL lists have him as one of the 2 or 3 top corners in next year's draft. So even though Michigan loses a lot, Michigan has 2 elite defensive linemen, including some people think is the best D lineman in the country, and some people think that there's the best corner in the country in Will Johnson.
Will Johnson. He's 4th. So Travis Hunter is the corner receiver for Colorado. He plays 2-way player.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that he's a top 5 player in college football, but I think they put him up there because
we all have to.
Well, because he plays 2 ways.
He plays 2 ways.
He goes both ways.
I'm intrigued by him, and I will be interested to see what the NFL thinks of him. I think he may be one of those guys where we just sit there and pound it into our head that he's great, and then the NFL comes around and goes, that he drops a bit. Who else is
Okay, so Will Johnson, cornerback, Michigan, number 4. Number 5 is Luther Burden, the wide receiver from Missouri.
Very, very good.
Number 6 is an offensive lineman from LSU named Will Campbell.
Okay, I've seen him on the list, but again, it's not like I watch every snap of LSU football, but I see him because I watch a lot. I look at a lot of NFL draft projections.
Number 7 is Carson Beck, the Georgia quarterback.
And that's another one that, the average fan, I think, views him as another kind of dismissive Georgia quarterback where people in the know say that kid's going to be really, really good.
Well, he threw for 4,000 yards last year.
Yeah. It's just that he didn't have Heisman-like numbers, and it was very efficient. The kid can sling it, and he's got plenty of talent around, and he plays on the best team in the country.
And rounding out the top 10 would be Ollie Gordon, running back from Oklahoma State.
Yeah, you kind of forget that the best running back in the country he's at Oklahoma State, and he was the one that had the whole controversy. His was the DUI, and his coach was like, I don't care.
I'm not going to punish him, then punish the whole team.
Yep.
1,700 yards and 21 tutties last year.
I can't believe, to be honest with you, he stayed at Oklahoma State. I mean, no offense to
There
Oklahoma
were rumors
State,
that he might transfer out.
Because he would have gotten
Doak Walker Award winner. Like, yeah, you can go anywhere you want.
Yeah, he could have gotten some love somewhere else.
Or maybe he got them to back up the truck. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then you have Kelvin Banks, the offensive lineman from Texas.
He's their center. He's very good.
Malachi Starks, the safety from Georgia.
Safety, nickel, slot corner. He's, again, do everything corner for Georgia. Very, very good.
So those are the top 10 players in college football.
How many of those are household names?
Oh,
I don't know if there's
one Travis Hunter, but maybe only because of
Hunter
Pac-12.
and Beck.
Yeah, Carson
Hunter
Beck.
and Beck.
Yeah, I said, and then Gabriel they have 16. I said he was 17. He's 16, and Tez Johnson is 18.
Where is Perkins Jr. from LSU?
14th.
So if you want a guy to keep LSU's defense isn't very good. And Brian Kelly even talked about it. Like, even he knows the defense is like, watch that kid. And they keep moving around. No one really knows where to play him, like as an outside rusher. So they're moving him back to the inside, and then on third down, they're going to move him to the outside. He might be my favorite defensive player. That kid just is everywhere. And he's not the biggest guy in the world, but I remember watching him as a true freshman and just thinking, dude, that he's just doing different stuff on a football field. I love that guy.
All right, up next, Notre Dame swimming. Something you didn't think we'd talk about, did you?
I would tell you, if I woke up today and you said we're going to do a segment on Notre Dame swimming, I would have assumed that there was a sexual scandal.
Yeah. Or that I was joking.
I would have just assumed that some coach got caught with his hand in a cookie jar, and that's the only reason we would talk about it. But it's the male swimming team.
No. Men's swimming talk is next. Here's Buck. before we get back to Notre Dame swimming. Well, not back to. Before we get to.
Yeah, it's not like we're going to circle back to talk more Notre Dame swimming. I'm interested in the 100-meter butterfly.
Yeah, we're going to get to some Notre Dame swim talk. But somebody forwarded me the list of the top players in the NFL, because we were just talking about that in college.
Yeah, they put Tyreek Hill number 1.
Not on this list.
Oh, the players voted recently, and it was a big deal because they voted Tyreek Hill number 1.
And Mahomes 4th.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, NFL players love athletic guys. It's universal.
All right, well, this is from CBS Sports. How many of the top 10 can you name? See, this is easier.
Oh, it's way easier.
Because, well, we all know why. So how many of the top 10 do you think you can hit?
Probably 10 out of 10 if you gave me, I don't know.
I mean,
15 guesses?
Yeah, exactly. I think you could get all 10.
Sure.
Hit it.
So 10. So we'll start. Number 1 is going to be Pat Mahomes.
Correct.
Let's go with Tyreek Hill.
He's 4th.
He's 4th. Myles Garrett will be there.
He's number 2.
Trent Williams will be there.
He's number 3.
I'm assuming Micah Parsons will be there.
9.
I'm assuming that Bosa will be there. The good Bosa, not the bad Bosa. Nick
10th.
Bosa will be there.
He's 10th.
I'm guessing that Josh Allen. Well, that's gonna be toughy. How many Can you give me a hint? How many quarterbacks are there?
Let's see.
Because it'll be Allen or Lamar.
Let's see.
Lamar. I'll
There's
go Lamar.
one other quarterback.
Lamar. He's won 2 MVPs.
Oh.
No Lamar?
You had it. Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
He's 6th.
Okay. Who else are going to be on there? Christian
Emissions-
McCaffrey should be on there.
Yep. He's 8th.
You're
only missing 2.
Only missing 2. What other be? Oh, Justin Jefferson.
He's number 6.
Best receiver.
Or, I mean 7. Sorry.
Who am I missing? Edge
One
rushing?
guy. He's obvious. You've just missed him.
I've just missed.
He's a stud. Absolute beast.
God, why am I missing? Give me a position.
Which side of the ball?
Yeah,
He's
offense,
defense.
Defense?
Yep. Absolute beast.
Who am I missing?
Top 5 guy. He's 5th. He's 5th on here. Come on. It's the one guy you haven't named.
I don't remember who we haven't named.
Well, that's
Fred
the problem.
Warner?
No.
Is he an edge rusher?
Yeah.
Oh, what edge? Max Crosby.
No.
I'm. This is one of those when I'm just drawing a blank.
Yeah, you're just drawing a blank.
I'm just drawing a blank.
T.J. Watt.
For hell's sakes.
Yeah.
You even had a poll the other day of the best edge rusher in the NFL, and who did I take?
T.J. Watt.
Freaking T.J.
Idiot!
That's how weird that is. You did that like a week ago. You gave me the 4 best edge rushers in football and said you had to pick one, and I picked T.J. Watt, and he's the one guy I couldn't come up with.
Well, you brain farted there, but you got him. You got most. I mean, that's so easy, right?
Yes.
Like the NFL, it's just those are clearly the top. I mean, is there a guy that? I mean, you mentioned Crosby. He could probably make a case for top 10.
He's certainly. I mean, if you told me that you liked Max Crosby better than Bosa or Micah Parsons or whatever, I wouldn't be shocked. It's the same thing with receivers. If you told me that you liked Tyreek Hill more than Jones Jefferson, or you liked Cincinnati better than you liked again, why can't I think of his name? Again, brain fart. The receiver in Cincinnati, for God's sake.
Chase.
Jamar Chase. If you like Jamar Chase better than Justin Jefferson, I mean, there's very few positions where it is like Mahomes, there's no debate. McCaffrey, there's no debate. I think after that, there's probably a debate. I think there's probably a clear cut in a lot of people's minds, but you can't sit there and say that without question the best offensive lineman is blank. You can't tell me that the best edge rusher is blank. You can't tell me that the best corner is blank. You can't. Not even tight end anymore. You certainly can't, because I think Kelsey has lost a step.
He's like 17th, 18th.
I'd make the argument the only 2 clear-cut, non-debatable positions are Christian McCaffrey is the best back in football, and that Kermit the Frog, son of a gun in Kansas City, is the best quarterback, period, end of story. After that, I will listen to arguments on every other position.
Okay, so corner, is it not Sauce Gardner?
If you wanted to go Sauce, that would make sense. But some people think that Sauce is a little, that he had a little bit of a slump. But no.
Well, who would you say is the best corner outside of him?
The best corner, if you wanted to go off payment, I mean, Johnson in Chicago is really, really, really stinking good. I'm trying to think off the top of my head who else would be on there if it weren't going to be Sauce Gardner. I think
Johnson's 34th.
He's 34th. Where is
Sauce is 12th.
Where's Surtain in Denver?
They got him.
Where did he go?
25th.
They got him 25th, and then Ramsey certainly has taken a step back in Miami, right? So he's further down. So maybe it is. Maybe that is another one where there is a clear Sauce Gardner, the best corner
According to this list
in football.
And then you got McDuffie as the next guy up.
Yeah,
He's
so there's a pretty big gap.
30th.
All right. Well, then
Yeah.
maybe I need to abridge my statement. Running back, quarterback, corner.
Yeah, Joe Burrow, the next quarterback on the list, 15, and then Lamar 16.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
bet you there's a pretty big gap between Fred Warner and the next inside linebacker too.
Let's take a little bit of a
Because inside linebackers aren't really
agenda.
They're not really
Warner 22nd.
They're not really
Well, they have Josh Allen from
yeah, but he's edge.
Yeah. The
So
Jags.
That's what I said. Inside linebacker, there's just not that they just don't get they don't get talked about. But Fred Warner is a do everything, and he's a true inside linebacker. He doesn't play on the edge. Every other linebacker that you're going to see high on that list,
But he can get to the edge.
Fred Warner can do
He's
anything.
so good.
Fred is really special. He is
Roquan Smith.
Yeah, there you go.
He's 40th.
40th. So again, pretty sizable gap there.
Your boy Justin Hebert, 41st.
Hmm.
Not bad.
Not too bad. Who do they have as the best tight end? Is it still Kelsey?
Kelsey.
Yeah.
18th.
18th.
And that's
Again,
Debatable.
he had a big postseason just last year during the regular season. It was more.
The
Again, guys age.
The highest guy we haven't mentioned is Chris Jones, 14.
Oh yeah.
Penei Sewell, 17.
Very, very good. So again, there's another one like Lane Johnson, Penei Sewell. Trent Williams is the best tackle, but again, if you want to take age and everything included, I'll listen to Lane Johnson's been beat up, but in different right tackle versus left tackle. But I'll listen to Penei Sewell. I mean, Wirfs just got paid as the best tackle in football. I mean, he just got bucks. So yeah, it's there's a lot of really good players in the NFL.
There are, because you keep scrolling down this list going, whoa, what about him? Kyle Hamilton at 36?
Phenomenal.
Dude, he needs to be higher.
I'm assuming he's the highest safety in football.
Yes?
Very, very,
He would have to be,
good.
I think.
No, Antoine Winfield is
Oh,
higher
yeah.
by 4 spots. That's crazy to
And
me.
then you got what? Jesse Bates is probably in there. By the way, see Justin Simmons signed in Atlanta today?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so arguably, believe it or not, the Falcons went from...
Where was he?
He was free agent. He got cut by Denver on just kind of a... The last 5 years, he's been one of the 2 or 3 best safeties in football. Last year was a little bit of down year for him, and Denver just released him and kind of a cost saving and we're going to be bad for a bit move. And so he was just sitting out there waiting. He was a free agent, so he signed like a 1-year deal, kind of a prove-it deal for I think $8 million. And quietly, Atlanta now probably has the 2 best safety combos in the NFL with Jesse Bates. And I know that he's not the same player that he was, but you still have a very, very good player playing besides Bates. And you got Judon, who, again, if he's healthy, is a very, very good edge rusher. He's not in that same elite cast of those guys we talked about, but Atlanta sneakily got a lot better on defense the last 2 days.
How do we feel about Aiden Hutchinson?
Very good.
Because he's only 47th. That seems low.
That does seem low.
He's very, very good. He just is, again.
What's the knock on him?
He just isn't quite, he doesn't quite finish the way some of those other guys do.
Yeah.
He
can disappear.
Well, he's just a motor guy, and he's a relentless effort, but sometimes it doesn't necessarily result in finishes. So he is that next tier of pass rushers. And by the way, there is nothing wrong with being the best player.
47.
But if you're talking about the best edge rushers in football, and you're talking about Myles Garrett, you're talking about Micah Parsons, you're talking about Bosa, and I think you throw Crosby in that list, and I think you got TJ Watt, and I don't think I'm missing any of the truly elite
he's
guys.
got tough competition, but he's still awesome.
And then you go down to that next group of guys, and now you're into the Josh Allens, although he hyphenated his name now. He's Allen or something Allen. But now you're into the Allens of the world. Now you're into the Aiden Hutchinson, who, again, are dominant players. And by the way, they can continue to get better. Maybe in a year we're talking about them in the same way we are those edge guys. But you're talking about now the difference between like Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, and Justin Herbert. And right now, Hutchinson is a Justin Herbert kind of player and needs to have a couple more years and keep getting better, and then you'll see him talked about in that same way.
All right, we got a little bogged down there. We cannot get to the club without talking about Notre Dame swimming and what they were doing.
I personally thought it was fantastic.
Because what they are doing, yeah, I do too.
I loved it.
This stuff is like, I get you can't do this.
Yes.
Okay? But at the same time, everybody does this.
100%.
That's next on The Fan.
It's time for a Ducks Report, the inside story on Oregon.
Who plays John Madden in a new biopic?
I'm going with The Rock, I'm telling you.
It's not The Rock.
Why not?
It's
if
not
Kate
The Rock.
Blanchett can play Bob Dylan, why can't The Rock be John Madden?
Wait, what?
Yeah, she played Bob Dylan in something. The new one, the new biopic coming out is Timothy Chalamet, which I'm way fired up about. But yeah, Kate Blanchett a while back, I don't remember what it was, but there was a movie about Bob Dylan and she played Bob Dylan.
What the hell?
I'll look it up. But yeah, she played Bob Dylan.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. So my point is,
Well, I don't pretend to know what casting directors, like I feel like, how sometimes people are like, oh, I could do your job, Rob. Like, okay, let's hear it, you little bitch. Because I guarantee you can't. I know you think you can, but you can't. Casting directors are the same. It's like, oh my God, I'm going to kick your ass, you little bitch. What the hell?
Kate Blanchett played
She
Bob.
looks just like him. See, this is why casting director, I would never say, because when you, okay, so I'm going to make a prediction. When you find out who is playing John Madden, if you haven't already looked it up, you're going to flip out. It makes no sense. But at the same time, it will probably be great, and it's probably a really genius cast. It's just, I think we got to steer clear of ripping on cast. Like, everybody thinks they can cast a movie, right? Like, so, oh, that guy shouldn't play that. Oh, you don't know half a thing about what goes into casting a movie, you idiot. Those people make a lot of money to do that.
Yep.
And they know what they're doing.
I don't know. I've never seen this movie. I just remember at the time being like, wait, who's playing Bob Dylan? Kate Blanchett.
That still, to me, is a little weird. But is it good? Did she do a good job?
I don't know.
Like,
I've never seen it. I don't even know what it's about. I don't think it's specifically, I don't think it's a Bob Dylan like biopic. Like the one coming out called A Complete Unknown. That's the one coming out this year, and that's Timothy Chalamet. No offense to Kate Blanchett, but I'm a little more excited about watching him play Bob Dylan.
If you're saying that she played Bob Dylan in just a bit part of some show, or that's different than you made it sound like they cast her as it's about Bob Dylan and she is.
Well, I mean, she is on the poster as Bob Dylan smoking a cigarette. I just don't know. I never saw the movie. It says ruminations on the life of Bob Dylan, where 6 characters embody a different aspect of the musician's life and work. So it is about Bob Dylan, but maybe it's like
she plays like maybe the female side of Bob Dylan.
I don't know.
The lesbian side? I don't know.
She plays Bob Dylan. So you're not going to shock me with who's playing John Madden when she plays Bob Dylan.
Okay. Anyway, that's in the club. Notre Dame swimming. You didn't think we'd talk about them today, but we're going to talk about them because they have suspended their men's swimming team, the entire team. And they did it now because they want kids that want to transfer.
For the year, not for a couple meets.
Yes,
yeah, they're done this year.
Yeah. And so they want kids to be able to transfer out, so they did it now, and they let them know that they're canceling. And what they did, they did not pee in the pool too much.
I bet you they did pee in the pool.
What?
Even the Olympic swimmers say they pee in the pool.
They created their own sports book.
Yeah.
And basically
for just themselves, though.
For just them, yeah. They would set up their own over-unders for their races.
Yeah.
And place bets on their over-unders.
What's wrong with that?
Wonderful.
I think it's awesome.
Although it'd be it's kind of lame to say, I'm going to bet the over on my teammate.
Yeah.
Because he sucks.
Yeah, but look, if you gave me this, like when I was in college, like I had running backs that I hated. If you were like, hey, do you think he's going to run for more than 50 yards? I'd be like, hell no. A white kid back there ain't running for crap. I would have 100% been a part of this, by the way. 100.
Me too.
Yes.
And I'm guessing this goes on a lot. Like
I
if you're
hope so.
Listen, you're betting on your own. It's amongst your inner circle of your team, and you're only betting on your own outcome.
Yes.
In an individual sport.
Yeah, and it's fun and just kind of,
See, that's where the reports indicate it wasn't super fun, that it got very toxic on the group thread and was creating some division in the team because people were ticked off at each other.
Then
and
don't be a loser.
I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying what I heard in the report.
Suk says, "Don't be a loser."
Yeah. Dude, go to Russia and be a loser. We're winners. We're Americans. You're swimming at Notre Dame, for God's sakes. Dude, grow a pair and get in the pool and swim faster. And if you don't like that I'm betting on you to finish at a worse time, prove me wrong. Go out and swim. But what probably happened was someone set the over-under at like 19 seconds. They were like, you're an ass. I'm going to do it. And you're like, dude, there's no way you're going to do that. You suck. And then you go out and swim like a 22. And I look at you and I'm like, I told you, dumbass, that you weren't going to finish very fast. And then that person gets butthurt. No one who won money or won races is pissed. This is all about the losers that we're getting bet against.
But you're right. There is an element of like, hey, this is motivation.
Yes.
Within the team. Kind of a weird way to do it, but
yeah. They also said that, and this is what I didn't like in the probe, they said they was suspended for the sports book and other nefarious activities. I want to know what the other nefarious activities were. I didn't like that vague thing. Tell me the deets. Maybe that was peeing in the pool or peeing on someone in the shower, which again, I find perfectly acceptable.
What are you going to do? Pee on me? Like, I don't know.
It's quite hilarious. And it's, by the way, it's minimum 1 year. They're saying that this could continue. Grow up. Grow up, Notre Dame. I don't like this.
Yeah. Well, they suspended him for a year. And then they'll be back.
I so wish that me and my buddies back in the day would have been clever enough to come up with this. We could have bet on weight room stuff.
Yeah.
We could have bet on lifts. We could have bet. I guarantee during winter conditioning that we would have been betting on which lineman was the slowest, which one had the worst body fat percentage. Guarantee that would have been.
Which one's going to commit the next penalty, the next personal foul, the next false start.
You know, because every year we had to do the body comp test, and we would always make fun of that one. You're like, hey, who's the fattest guy? We're like, I guarantee you're like 27. Oh, this would have been I'm so pissed I can't go back in time and gamble on this stuff.
I have a question pertaining to that. If you were, okay, so let's go back to BYU.
Yeah.
You're the center.
Mm-hmm.
If you had a financial incentive,
yeah,
a decent, I'm not saying like riches,
yeah,
but a decent financial incentive to never commit a penalty.
Yeah.
Could you do it?
No.
You couldn't?
And not be. Well, I could do it, but I'd be a bad player.
So, so you could do it.
I could, but
you just wouldn't.
There's no way I could be effective.
Right.
I would get beat. I'd get beat a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to.
Yeah.
You have to hold.
Yep.
And you're going to get called for a few of those.
Yes. The only way, if you said, the best way to be a bit like if you put a gun to my head and said, I can't commit a penalty, I would get benched because it would just be, I would be a disaster. Like I mean, offsides and stuff like that do happen. Like you flinch and you can't control that stuff. And then holding penalties and like illegal blocks and things like that, that just is part of being aggressive. The only way I could do that is the moment I started to get beat on any play would be to just let the guy go and let him run by me. I'd be an awful player. So, I mean, you could.
So you could do it.
It would affect your play.
But you'd get benched.
Yeah, or just
but then you'd have a fat wallet.
You'd have a really, really crappy game. I was going to say, as a center, if you told me, could I fix a game? The answer to that question is 100% yes.
As the center?
Oh, I'd be one of the easiest players on the field to shave points or affect a game.
What would you do?
Fumble snaps.
Bad snap,
snaps.
Low snap, high snap. No. You don't snap the ball and the rest of the line goes on one.
The easiest thing we would do is that if we, and obviously I couldn't help us score points, but if we were up by a bunch or we were in danger of covering the spread, simple, on third down, I roll one back to the quarterback, put it over his head, and then we're either
Were you in gun a lot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that makes it a little easier.
No, dude, under the center would actually be even easier.
Well, yeah, you just fumbled before you
just fumbled.
But if he's in gun, you can throw that thing.
Yeah, but that may look a little weird, and you never know. Athletic quarterbacks can go out and get those. I can't guarantee you a fumble. I mean, I guess I could, but it would be like it would be suspicious. Because in order for me to guarantee you a fumble on a shotgun in a gun, it would have to be so horrific that you'd be like, "Whoa." Like
what is going on?
Something weird
He's
is
got
there.
Well, how many times would they let you fumble a snap before they'd bench your ass?
Well, that Oregon kid in the bowl game had like 13 of them. It was atrocious. But I mean, honestly, after 3 fumbled snaps,
they're like, dude, you've got money on this.
Yeah, something's up. Especially because I don't,
get over here.
I had never done that before, but and it didn't matter. We got blown out, but we were playing. I do remember it was soul sucking, and to this day, I claim it's not my fault, but it may have been. I don't know. We were playing, and I don't remember a lot of details of games I'll blur together, but I remember we were playing Virginia. That was the really good running back. Went and played a bunch of years in the NFL.
Jones.
Thomas Jones?
Thomas Jones. Yeah, it was Thomas Jones. He kicked our ass. But we were losing by a bunch, and we got the ball like on the 1 yard line, and we were going to punch it in, 1 or 2 yard line, and goal line play, and we fumbled the snap, and they picked it up and ran it all the way back. And I was laying, because when you fumble a snap like that, you're just laying in a pile of people, right? So it's just...
So you fumble it, and you go sorting through to try to get it.
Yeah, and it's just a mass humanity of people, and then all of a sudden, I just hear the crowd go eerily quiet and then groan, and I look up, and there's just a Virginia kid just running. took it 90, whatever, wherever we were at, the 2, the 3, the 1, whatever, and he ran he ran it all the way back.
Way to go.
And I remember just sitting there at the bottom of the pile, and then like one of the Virginia players that was like, "Nice snap, fat ass," and I was like, "Yeah,
yeah, you got
there's
me.
nothing you can say." You're
Yeah.
like, then you come off the sidelines, and it's like, "Hey, what happened?" And you're like, "I don't know. I think it was the quarterback."
I have kind of always wondered how centers are so good with the ball when their hands are all taped up and stuff.
Yeah, it can be a little funky.
It looks like
Yeah.
you would fumble
Stick
more
'em.
than you do.
You spray some crap on your hand. And it does happen. Bad weather and all that stuff. Then other times you just like you get that bowl game where it was the Oregon backup center. I forget what that kid's name was. I felt so bad for him. I'm not kidding. He probably had 13 to 15 bad snaps in that game. Like he single-handedly tanked that, and that was that monster comeback. Remember in the second half, TCU came back from like
Oh, you're talking about that Alamo Bowl
30 to
game.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 30-0, and TCU came back
Wasn't
and won. Look,
I think that's right.
I feel bad for that kid, but if you wanted to do an investigation into like what was going on, that was one man single-handedly being like, "Yeah, we ain't scoring in this half." Like we're a center can affect a game more than maybe any other player that's not the quarterback.
31-0.
It's 31-0 and they lost.
Dude,
right?
it was 31-0 and they lost.
Yeah.
I
Do we
remember
give
it
that
well.
enough?
Gary Patterson changed his shirt at halftime.
It's one of the great and that's
That's
not
got to
even,
be like the
it's not a I mean that's a collapse. So they were up 31
31-0.
What was the final score?
47-41.
Okay. So
they went to overtime, right?
They scored
God.
10 points. I would love
Yeah,
for
they went to
someone
OT.
I would love for someone to go back, because I know it wasn't the starter, it was a backup, to know how many bad snaps that he had, because it was a lot.
Well, and the quarterback got knocked out of the game too, which didn't help. Jeff Locke was back there unable to do really anything.
It was not good.
Jeff Locke played in that game?
Yeah, he had to, because I think Vernon Adams got knocked out.
It's a hell of a thing, man. Hell of a game.
Yeah,
Someone-
Matt Hegarty.
Yeah. Deals
the
in saying
center.
centers have big hands. That's why Suk does radio. Absolutely. Little mitts.
What? Oh,
Centers-
yeah. You
tenders-
couldn't make it in the NFL because of your small little cabbage hands.
Small hands smells like cabbage.
Ooh.
A lot of centers do have big, beefy paws. I do not. I got little.
All
carrot
right.
hands.
Who will play John Madden in the biopic? Next, Club 1080 on the Fan. Hey, what's up, Drop? Sticking around for the Nation. Window Nation. Got a
There's a show called My Feet Are Killing Me, which might be even better. Because it's two hot doctors, like out of Atlanta, one male, one female, and they just deal with like the worst feet in the world, and I can't get enough of it. So I'm scrolling, and the video is them. She's popping like a cyst. She's popping a cyst and then taking tweezers and pulling it out. And Rob walks by and goes, "What the hell are you watching?" And I assumed he was disgusted because I was watching a pimple popping video. He thought that the tweezers and the lady's pimple was a vagina.
Yeah.
Rob thought I was watching some sort of weird medical porn.
Well, it didn't even look like medical porn. It looked to me, because I just glanced. When I walk by him, I can see his computer screen.
Yeah.
And so I just glanced and I went, "What?" I did the double take, like, "What the hell, dude?"
Then the bonus reward.
By the way, him watching porn would not be a shock at all. I don't know why I was shocked, but I saw just the view that I saw it certainly looked like a vagine.
Rob thought that the tweezers were the vagine, and that the cyst, the big pimple, was something at the top of it.
Well, I thought,
boy, that's some great vision.
Well, you saw it. I showed it to you. You told me you couldn't tell. You couldn't
Rob
see
just
that.
sees vaginas in the abstract.
Boy, I don't know what
you didn't think that looked like a vagine.
I don't think that the big cyst up top looked like what you thought it did.
Well, no, it didn't. But it.
If so, someone.
But it could have been.
Someone needs to get to the gyno stat.
Well, that's why I thought. I'm like, what is he looking at? Is he like STD porn?
Is there such a thing?
You're gross.
Don't Google. I'll bet you there is.
You need one of those. What do they have? On people on airplanes, they have. What do they call those black screen things that you can put over
privacy screen?
Oh, it's like a privacy screen.
Conveniently called the privacy screen. Yeah, you need one of those. Because this is disgusting.
Either that or you need to not see a pimple and think that it's some sort of weird vagina.
What do you mean weird vagina? It actually looked like a very nice vagina. It wasn't weird. Yeah, that's where the hard dudes are.
I have so many questions that you thought that was a nice vagina.
Yeah, it looked nice and, Do I need to describe it?
Nice.
God. He's going to go get him one of those Milwaukee butter hogs.
Oh, that was an all-timer. I was like, what? Oh, you want to watch this pimple? Oh, you thought it was something else. And we had to watch the whole video. I'm like, watch this thing. I'm like, where did you think that this was a vagina? And then at the end, the tweezers come out. And I was like,
I showed you, and you were like, oh, yeah.
It's like right at the very end. I was like, I guess, yeah, maybe the tweezers.
That's right. That's the moment that I saw it.
Yeah. Dr. Pimple Popper and MD, Dr. Sandra Lee.
I think that's gross that you watch that.
Oh, I love that stuff.
I would rather you be watching porn.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm probably more comfortable with porn than Dr. Pimple Popper.
Really?
Yeah, that stuff
it's really
gives
gross.
me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, no one in my family will watch it. Like,
and what is that coming out of there? Like the pus? Like, I know, but what is pus? Like just
pus is usually a collection of white blood cells.
Look at Buckley. He's all about the pus.
Dr. Buckley.
Yeah, and there's different like some of the stuff that's on that show is unbelievable. That people wait. Like someone will be like, yeah, I've had this thing for like 11 years. And then like they take off their shirt and it's just, they've got like a basketball growing on their shoulder and they're like, Or they'll have something growing
didn't
on.
think much of it.
Well, I hate to be I don't want to be stereotype anyone, but there is a lot of, what's a good word? Like country. Fat, uneducated beer.
What?
Rubes, right? Just.
Yeah, all right.
Rural people
I know what you mean.
that don't really go to the doctor. There's a lot of this. If you watch Dr. Pimple Popper, you'll hear this. I guarantee it on one episode. Well, I haven't been to a doctor in 30, 40 years. I don't really trust science, but Dr. Lee is a pretty gal, and and they always name it too. They're like old Bumpy here. He's been with me for a while.
If you are naming your
some of the stuff on there is like it's unbelievable. But when she's getting, I can't look away. I can't.
I'll never understand that the old school I don't go to the doctor bullshit.
Yeah.
That is so stupid. I'll never understand it.
Well, I think it just comes from, again, it's a cultural thing. You're raised in the country, and there's just
You're raised in a country?
You're raised in the country. Like you're
Oh,
out in
you're
the
talking about
countryside.
yeah, but that's not just a country thing. I mean, there's a lot of people from the generation before us that just refuse to go to the doctor. They don't go to the doctor.
Yeah, but I do think in rural communities where there's just not a lot of access to health care and there's a mistrust of that, and I do think that the most of like you don't see wealthy people from Lake Oswego ignoring a grapefruit-sized growth on their back.
No, I got you. I'm just saying like that the attitude of I haven't been to the doctor in 20 years.
Yeah.
That is not just a rural lack of access to
there is
healthcare thing. That isn't, and I don't understand that. I mean, you can, somebody who like in Louisiana.
Yeah,
I get it.
Well,
That's easier to explain than the guy who's
just the
who
normal-
has
yeah.
means and is like, nah, I refuse. I don't go there.
Because I do understand the people too that just say, "Hey, man, I have a very limited financial budget here, and going to the doctor ain't on that list." Which is also like when you think about it, that is a little weird too. Because I've talked to people about this, even my like friends and stuff. Like you would think if you were going to spend money on one thing, right? Like whether it's you got your bills, then you got your necessities, and then you got food and entertainment, and you go buy beer, and you go on vacation, all that stuff. But when it comes to taking care of you, not dying, not being in pain, like the idea of spending money on that, people have a hard time wrapping their brain around that, and that always fascinates me. It is one of the things I think that is for a lot of people. I'd say most, but I'd say for a lot of people that may be the hardest check to write, is the check that goes to your well-being. And I don't know where that comes from. I'm not certain like why that's a thing, but it is. It's like maybe because you can't see the benefits of it. It's like you don't think
that's probably
you're getting something directly for it. Like if I'm going to spend, my daughter's has to have her wisdom teeth pulled. Have you seen that lovely bill? That's
oral surgery ain't cheap.
Yeah.
What's that going to cost you?
Well,
do you have?
We do the insurance doesn't cover it, which again is fascinating because they
won't cover it at all.
No, it's
an Odyssey station.
It's viewed as an optional procedure.
Yeah.
It's optional to have your mouth hurt for the rest of your life.
It's cosmetic dentistry. So
yeah, that's kind of bullshit.
Yeah, categorizing it as cosmetics.
Yeah, that's stupid.
It's like they don't cover braces.
But of course
either.
they have it that way.
Yeah, it's the same.
They don't cover braces?
No.
Well, that makes a little bit more sense. You can go through life with crooked teeth,
I
but
guess
like,
so.
Yeah, you want really janky teeth, But yeah, it's, most insurances cover like maybe $500 towards braces. I mean, it's just it doesn't cover much at all. So I want to say it's like $2,300.
Oh, that's less than I thought. I thought it would be more than that.
$2,300, I think, for 2 teeth.
I was going to guess 8,000.
No, $2,300. Although I do know my dentist, so maybe I'm getting a nice, maybe I'm getting a friends and family sort of thing because I've known him for 40 years. But for a lot of people, again, if I'm writing a check for $2,300, it's not going to be to have 2 teeth pulled out. But as Buck said, you'll spend $2,300 on a trip to Disneyland, which will last you, 5-6 days. But you won't spend $2,300 to get your teeth ripped out, but you will have blinding pain, infections, constant problems, jack up your teeth, smile, all that stuff. People would rather spend it on Disneyland than they would actually taking care of themselves.
Well, and a lot of people, there are studies out there about people who are more willing to take their pets to the vet than themselves to the doctor, and it's like outnumbered in a pretty big way. Like I guess there's a whole group of people who are more likely they take their pets to the vet more often than they themselves get seen by a doctor.
And as someone else points out too, now it's not even finding wanting to go to the doctor. It's finding a doctor that will see them. Dude, some doctors are backed up, and dentists they're backed
100%.
up months.
You can't find anybody now.
Yeah, it's
the system is a whole nother thing.
Yes.
I'm just talking about the system sucks, and I totally get that as being a reason why people don't want to deal with it. And the bills.
Yeah.
But I'm just talking about that mentality of, and it's kind of an old school mentality of I don't need no doctor.
Yep.
It's just I'll never understand it.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Like I said, I'm very blessed because I have a friend, and so I get to go to the doctor, and I don't know what that's like to not have access to medical care, but for a lot of people, that is the reality. Or there's a very I know the dentists and stuff too. It's a lot of mistrust. They just don't They don't trust doctors. They don't trust dentists. It goes back to that one guy. He wrote a book, and it's called like The Dangerous Rise of Anti-Science. And he's talking about obviously what we've gone through in the last couple years, but he goes beyond that, and he goes, there's been a growing trend over the last 20 plus years of like a culture war between medicine and science and the general public, that as we have access to more information, we become less trusting of the people that claim to be the gatekeepers of the information.
Thanks a lot, Fauci.
Well, it's a really fascinating thing because it's like this healthcare and public safety was totally politicized during COVID, and so now the remnants of that is still very much alive and well, but people aren't always smart enough to disseminate when something is a political battle and when something is just real science about you and your body.
Right.
Well, but it's that element of someone's. We always think now that someone. What does he put? I didn't. To be honest with you, I didn't find the book that interesting, so I didn't make it all the way through.
Is it by Dr. Pill Popper?
It's by. He was one of the guys
Pimple Popper.
It was
Pimple.
one of the guys that was a big. He was one of the big people during COVID that was very much on the side of vaccines and science, and he became a. I'll find out what his name is here. I think his last name is Holtz.
I loved COVID.
I'm just saying. But he became a big target of the far right? Like he points out in the book that there's this whole now. No one trusts medicine or science because they think it's controlled by a larger group. That the idea that there's doctors out there now actually trying in large organizations, right? So if you belong to a national institute of something, if you belong to a big college, that you are on the take. You can't possibly have someone's best interest in you because the system is rigged against you. So anything that comes out of mainstream, it's like the same thing with the media, right? If it comes out of a large news organization, well, it's fake. It can't be real because they're against me. So the only people that you can trust are the people that are little kind of boutique. You trust the person.
Boutique news, the comment you see on Facebook.
Yes.
Like
Joe Rogan, baby.
Yeah,
That's my doctor.
So people would rather trust someone that is a non-doctor but does their own research and maybe has a clinic and they're like, it's kind of like that pseudoscience thing versus someone that went to Harvard and now works for a big pharmaceutical company because they can't possibly be right. It's a weird thing, but it's kind of a clunky read, but it's interesting some of the points he makes about just kind of the mistrust, and there is a ton of mistrust, and it's growing by the day.
Critical thinking is a lost art, it seems.
I think it's people are being told not to think critically, and that's
exactly right. That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't take much. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, we gotta go. I'm disgusted. So we have Matthew Perry. See, now we've got a lot to squeeze in here.
Suddenly we're behind
we just
the 8 ball again.
Matthew Perry news, but I want to tell you next who will play John Madden in the biopic. Biopic. Is it biopic or biopic? Haven't we already done
We've definitely done
done
this
this
segment
so many times, and I still
want to call it a biopic.
Not 100% sure which one it is.
Well, that makes more sense because you call it a biography.
I know.
So that would then be parallels at least, but I think it's biopic and biography, which are different.
Yeah, see, by the way, he is Professor Peter Hotz, MD, PhD. In his book, if you want to read it, it's called The Deadly Rise of Anti-Science, and it's a good book. It's just very, very smart guy talk, and so at times it can be
who can handle that?
Dense.
it can be a lot.
All right, we'll be right back on The Fan.
The home of Dirt and Spray.
I'm never going to be there as a fan of this attitude of like title or bust. You give yourself a chance, and eventually the ball will break your way. Eventually you'll get your break. Eventually you'll get your matchup, and you'll break through and you win one. It has never been harder to win a national championship than it is now. Oregon is finding a way to get to this point right when the start of a 12-team playoff begins, where if you don't win the Big Ten, you're going to have to go win 4 playoff games.
Dirt and Spray. Weekdays 6 to 9 a.m. on 1080 The Fan.
Now, Now, here's a quick look at Portland traffic.
Northbound 205 at Stark Street, there's a crash blocking up the left lane. Traffic is backed up from 26, stays slow to 84. Northbound 5 to the Morrison Bridge, a crash is cleared, but it's backed up from Taylor's Ferry. I'm Claire Beverly with traffic.
Experience high-speed racing thrills when the NTT IndyCar Series returns to Portland International Raceway August 23rd to 25th. The championship chase is on as the stars and cars of the Indy 500 return to PIR, hitting speeds over 180 miles per hour on the straightaways and navigating the legendary Turn 1 chicane. Don't miss the BitNile.com Grand Prix of Portland. Food, fun, and 10 total races at Portland International Raceway. Kids 12 and under free. Get your tickets now at Raceport.
Even though they're never accurate. But the Johnny Cash one, Phoenix, fantastic. The Ray Charles one, one of the best performances you'll ever see. Jamie Foxx won an Oscar. Rami Malek did Freddie Mercury in Bohemian Rhapsody, won an Oscar for it. Phenomenal. There's some really, really good musical ones.
So Amazon MGM Studios has a dramatic look at the sports and video game legend John Madden.
Are we going to have a big scene where he puts his name behind a video game?
And they have cast this man to play him. Do you have any other guesses before I reveal?
I was just trying to think of other large...
John Goodman, no.
See, you got to admit, the John Goodman one...
that'd be good.
Would have been great.
Yeah. Seems it, but I don't know. Again, I'm not saying casting directors are always spot on, but I love how people just sit on their couches and think that they can cast a movie and be good at it. Like,
Well,
dude,
I'm just thinking of...
there's a lot more that goes into it than those people know.
What about like Jonathan Lithgow? Because he's like 6'4", 6'5".
That's
Because
a good
Madden was never small. Even when he was a coach, I'm not saying he was like a huge fat guy, but he was a large man.
Somebody in the Vancouver 4 text line said Ed O'Neill. I think that would be pretty solid.
Would be really good.
good.
Yeah. And Ed played college football like Youngstown State or
Big
whatever.
Ed.
Yeah.
It is not Ed O'Neill.
Oh, that's a good
No.
The answer as to who will play the great John Madden is...
Kate Blanchett.
Are you ready? Kate
Yes, you got it.
Oh, Vince Vaughn. What about Vince Vaughn?
Nope.
He's a big guy.
Nice last second guess. Nicolas Cage. Not even kidding.
I just Googled Nick Cage Madden.
Not even kidding.
What?
Nicolas Cage will portray John Madden, the storied football coach and sports commentator, in a drama to be directed by Russell, the filmmaker behind Silver Linings Playbook and American Hustle. This is not a biopic of the man in the typical way, nor a sports drama, a genre Russell took on with boxing movie The Fighter. Rather, Madden is in part, according to sources, a video game movie. It's the origin story of Madden NFL, one of the biggest video game franchises of all time.
Huh. Boy, that's a big time actor. You gonna make a movie about a video game? Like, boy, that's interesting. By the way, when I Googled Madden movie, the other one that popped up that people were saying, I guess was rumored, and I didn't know any of this. I guess they said Will Ferrell was supposed to play him.
Hugh Jackman as well, they said.
Will Ferrell would have been a very, very good John Madden. I could 100% see that.
That's compelling.
Or maybe John C. Reilly, if you want to go with another one. I thought John C. Reilly was great as Dr. Buss in the Showtime, the Lakers series. Nick Cage.
Nick Cage.
Boy,
your guy.
I love me some Nick Cage, but my brain is having a hard time computing that.
Here's what Russell said about it. He said, Nicolas Cage, one of our greatest and most original actors, will portray the best of the American spirit of originality, fun, and determination in which anything is possible as beloved national legend John Madden. Together with the ferocious style, focus, and inspired individualism of Al Davis, owner of the underdog Oakland Raiders, the feature will be about the joy, humanity, and genius that was John Madden in a wildly inventive, cool world of the 70s. So it is young John Madden.
Young John Madden.
And I could see Cage doing that well. He just doesn't look a lot like him, but he's a good actor. He knows what he's doing.
And they'll do it. They'll put on a wig and,
Exactly.
they'll put a few pounds on him. And more importantly, I want to know who's playing Al Davis.
Probably Jerry Jones, right?
Well, no, because this would be, if this is in the 70s, this would be like relatively young Al Davis. I mean, he still looked horrible, but we'd get like...
You get like an Adrian Brody who was also in the Lakers thing.
Yeah, this isn't going to be like... I was originally, because I would say there's only one man to do it now, and that's Clint Eastwood, who looks like absolute death.
Yeah,
Like,
he'd be the good late stage
He'd
Al.
be a great late stage, but you got to get like a... Because so in the 70s, he would have been probably in his 50s. But,
Barry Pepper looks like Al Davis.
Okay, I could see that. I could see old Saving Private Ryan Pepper. Because that's what I want to see. No offense to Nick Cage.
You know how old Clint Eastwood is now?
He's got to be like 90, right?
94.
Yeah. And I think he's still working.
He's like directing a movie right now, isn't he?
And it looks, he's 94 for God's sakes. But he looks every bit 94. Like if you saw Clint Eastwood, you would be like, you're not dead yet? And yet, how about kudos to Clint Eastwood for hiking up his britches and his Depends to his nipples and then going out and still working. That's awesome. Well, if you ever met a 94-year-old, it can be rough. I went over to my buddy's house for his grandma's, I want to say it was her 91st or 92nd birthday. And it was like the UPS guy. I just felt bad. For her. She was in a wheelchair. I don't think she knew what was really going around. It was bad. They were putting like hats on her. Like kids were running. It was bad. I just sat there and was like, this feels wrong. I've never been to a more awkward birthday party. I was like, ah.
Up next, Matthew Perry has risen from the dead. It's a stunner.
Yeah.
Here's Buck.
Now,
different shifts and whatnot. And there are times when you're down in the morgue that the bodies make noises.
Yeah.
No one wakes up, but you have a lot of gases and things
sure.
built up. So sometimes the bodies will twitch, and other times, now I've never seen one twitch, but I've heard plenty of stories. But I have heard the moan, and it's a little, like, I can definitely see if you're not used to that, that would be a mind F. But someone actually waking up.
They just sit up.
Nah, you're out.
You can't ever work there again.
I read a story about it was like a funeral procession. I think it was in like Mexico or Guatemala
Yes.
maybe, and like this like the grandmother like started like knocking on the inside of the casket. She's like, "I'm not dead. Don't take me. Don't bury me."
It's like Monty
What?
Python.
That had to be like, because that has to be again a very poor rural place.
I think basically she passed. They thought she did at least. They were gonna do it that day, little family thing, and yeah, she was
I'm
still
not
alive.
dead yet.
Well, I mean, like back in the day, there was all that distrust. And they would have like bells and stuff, and
Yeah.
you could ring from inside. That used to be a much bigger problem. Now with the whole embalming and whatnot, you can't,
Hey,
you can't really.
I'm
do
gonna be
that.
buried with a bell. I'm gonna be cremated with a bell.
just in
Just in
case.
case.
Just in case. Your ashes. You're like Wolverine. You come back to life.
Well, the deal with Matthew Perry is that they have been investigating his death. He passed out in a hot tub.
Yeah, he drowned, right?
And of course, he was on drugs. They said he had not fentanyl, but
Ketamine, I think.
ketamine.
Yeah.
A bunch of ketamine in his system. Well, they have now arrested 5 people and charged them in connection with his death.
Oh, people that were supplying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was on ketamine therapy.
What, ketamine is a therapy idea?
Yes. Yes. Doctors. Yeah, he was on it for anxiety and depression, and that is a thing.
It's one of those things that kind of like other deals in micro doses. It can be used for therapy.
Can we just call it what it is? He was on ketamine because it was awesome and he was rich, and so he got a doctor to give him ketamine.
Well, I think it's both things. He was on ketamine infusion therapy for anxiety and depression, but they said his last therapy was a week and a half before he died. So the ketamine in his system was not the ketamine from his infusion therapy.
Yeah.
So that's what set him off of like, okay, wait a minute, who's giving him ketamine? And they found 5 people have been arrested, 2 of them doctors, and one of them was his live-in personal assistant. There was another that a person referred to as the ketamine queen.
There you go.
And the U.S. attorney, Martin Estrada, said the defendants took advantage of Mr. Perry's addiction issues. They knew what they were doing was wrong. 3 of the 5 have reached plea agreements. The 2 other defendants, the doctors, were indicted today.
So this is the same thing that Michael Jackson had. Again,
Yeah.
he was a junkie. I know that's a rough word, but he was a drug addict. And
He was bad.
And he was bad. And he got doctors and people around him that would prescribe. No offense, dude. He wasn't doing ketamine for depression. He was doing ketamine because it can make you hallucinate and see things. You trip balls on it. There's a reason why it's called Special K. He wasn't, no offense.
He was on ketamine infusion therapy. That is a thing. But
I understand.
He obviously, these guys wouldn't be charged.
Exactly.
If they weren't doing him wrong. I just think it's interesting that, it's like this whole thing of, well, you're basically a drug dealer.
Yes.
So that's illegal.
Yeah.
But if a guy wants it.
Yeah. But here's the thing.
Where's the irresponsibility line?
Well,
is it just dealing it in the first place?
Well, look, you're a drug dealer. Do you have a lot of, I don't think drug dealers have a lot of, the moral ground. You're a drug dealer. Your whole point is...
No, I'm not saying moral. I'm saying culpability.
Yeah. Look,
wise.
if you're... we've now learned multiple times now, if you're a drug dealer and your drug kills someone, you can be held responsible. You're giving them an illegal substance. Your ass is cooked. Which is why if you're a drug dealer, be aware. That's one of the hazards of many of being a drug dealer.
Yeah, be aware, Buck.
I don't know. I'm weird on this because while I totally get that the drug dealers should be held responsible, I don't know. I I hold the drug addict responsible.
If they're over and over again making the same poor decision, and then this finally happens, is it really the person supplying them's fault?
I mean, yeah, it is the person supplying their fault, but
if he doesn't die, is it
it is criminal.
And also, if the person supplying him doesn't give it to him, don't they just go get it from somebody else?
Well, I mean, I have a weird thing on drugs because I was all about legalizing all the drugs in Portland because I was like, dude, if you want to do drugs, be my guest. Well, it turned out that wasn't the best idea, and I realized that. I was like, you know what, my bad. But at my fundamental core, I do struggle. Like the reason...
Damn lib.
I know. The reason why, that drugs are worth so much money is because people want them. Like I said, the war on drugs is over. The drugs won. People like drugs, whether it's good for them or bad for them. And some people handle them and take drugs like a champion, and other people get all left up and end up on the street, and they end up dying. And there's part of me that just at my core is more like, well, I mean, when you stick a needle in your arm or you snort a powder up your nose, you understand that you're playing roulette. And I don't again, fundamentally at my core, I don't like telling someone what they can and can't do. But they should absolutely understand that there's repercussions to it. And if you die in a hot tub because you were all jacked up on ketamine, whether it was through legitimate therapy, which it wasn't, or that you were getting it off someone shady on the street, ultimately, if we're placing blame, I'm going 20% the drug dealer and 80% the person that was snorting the powder.
So should they be charged?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. And honestly, I have a bigger problem with the doctor than I do the drug dealer. If you're some weird dude on the street, like
the ketamine queen,
she's just trying to make money.
There is a
well, yeah, give her a break.
There's a
not even saying that, but the doctor who already has made presumably either a practice or ways of making money that aren't doing this. That's disappointing.
Well, and we kind of look the other way at it. That area that I ride through, the homeless, low income area down there, there's a dude that rolls around in an ice cream truck and plays the little ice cream music. He ain't selling ice cream out of that truck. Like when he comes rocking up to that area and the people come running out, they're not out there to get the Tutti Frutti pop. But like, it happens. Everyone knows it's going down and no one does anything about it. They're like, this guy's doing that. So, I mean, there's a lot of blame to go around, but when you're a medical doctor, when you're an actual MD and you're writing prescriptions for junkies like the Conrad to Michael Jackson or this guy for Perry or whatever, and you're literally giving someone a drug that you know can kill them and you would never give to someone other than that they're rich and they're paying you $100,000 a month, I got a much bigger problem with that guy than I do the guy on the street in the ice cream truck that's selling drugs, because he's a scumbag and the people that he's buying are junkies, and that's just kind of that's a supply and demand thing.
Did that Michael Jackson doctor ever go to jail?
Yeah, he went to
Is
jail.
he still in jail?
I don't know, but I think he got a decent prison sentence.
Yeah, good. All right. No Andrew Nemec tonight. He's on ketamine. So he won't be here.
I don't know, maybe he's having a great time. I don't know.
But he is not having a show tonight. If you're tuning in for that, you won't hear it.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing is that if people just didn't want drugs, we wouldn't have a drug trade. You know. But what percentage of the population is on drugs? And then we get into a whole other thing of what's legal and what's not. You got a bunch of people on antidepressants and God knows what else and shoving who knows what. And is that any worse or any better than, I mean, God, we used to think remember when you were in school and they would teach you about marijuana? They're like, if you smoke marijuana, it's the gateway to becoming.
I learned it by watching you.
Exactly that commercial.
And you're blowing it because you can't stay off the weed.
So it's not murder, though. Is it murder? Did they murder Matthew Perry?
I think it is. It's like manslaughter, negligent something or other. 4 years in prison, by the way, for Dr. Conrad.
4 years,
and he served 2, and he's out. He's been out for a while.
Okay.
But he's not a doctor anymore. He has medical license.
Do you think it was worth it for him?
Probably not.
Probably got a lot of money.
Probably got a lot of money, but he's not a doctor anymore, and I would assume it's not worth it. But I don't know.
And no one really knows who he is. Probably just go.
Yeah, but I don't know what you do now that you're not a medical doctor.
Live off Michael Jackson's money. I guarantee you that dude got a lot of dough.
Yeah, probably.
And probably stole a lot of dough. Get creative. Steal that guy's money.
You're right. He probably had his hands deep in those pockets.
All right, we'll wrap it up next on The Fan.
How's your t-shirt game set up for summer?
Check out the Fan.